The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Well, can you feel it? What exactly is it that we're feeling? Don't know. But we're feeling it. Good morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Carmichael Dave.
Hey, we're
Hey,
that's you.
that
That's
is
you.
you. My bad.
Hey, we're oh, that's me.
Ah,
We're off
we're
to
everywhere.
we're off to a wonderful start. I would like it if the people on the chat would stop referring to me being when I'm back as I just got back from vacation. Because let me tell you, if that was a vacation, I don't want one.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Is that still you?
Yeah, I lowered it all the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, if you right click on the tab, it'll mute it. Yes. Good morning, everybody. We are here and you're there, and it is Monday, February 3rd, on one of those days where I was just talking to Pat Still and Tom Maley down the hall, and was saying, this is one of those days where sometime in late June, I'm July, gonna look back on this and go, great, like too much good stuff, like at AM/PM. There's too much good stuff. We could have spent the entirety of the show, for the most part, talking about Luka Doncic. We could spend the entirety of the show talking about the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. Hey, the Super Bowl's coming up this Sunday. But we've got the Kings and De'Aaron Fox, and what's it going to be today? Is it going to be happiness? Is it going to be anger, frustration, apathy? Is it going to be all of it? It's generally what it is. So when you finally heard the news, Jason, what were you going through there?
Well, I said it me personally, I did not want to see De'Aaron Fox get traded. So that part, I realized, obviously I've done this long enough. It's a business. I get it. And I also was saying, like, no, he's not. It's not an untradeable thing. That now we're talking preference.
Right.
So personally, I would have liked to have seen them go forward, continue with De'Aaron Fox, obviously, and make this a championship team with, like, I think that would have been, like, we're talking dreams. I think De'Aaron would have loved that. Like, legend in this community forever as a champion. That's the perfect world I was looking at. They obviously were far from that. I understand the thought process to get here. And then when you actually do it, it's, I don't know, even if people are talking about it for days and thinking it's going to happen, maybe it's not going to happen. I'm hearing your player in the rumors, seeing the way they've played over the last couple of games, how it surely looks like it's impacted them. And then when they do it, you just kind of go, okay. But personally, when it happened, I was okay with the return.
Yeah.
I think, of the three teams, I know we'll get into all of this, but
Sure.
I don't know if you rank them. I feel like the Spurs, the Kings, the Bulls, that was the order of who did the best.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly don't know what the Bulls are doing, but that's okay. That's for them to figure out. And I think the Kings did okay. But it also feels like there's more to be done. So it feels a little bit incomplete would be my answer.
That's where it's going to be really tough today. Because if And again, I don't, I'm the dramatic one.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when I first saw the trade, when it first came over, I went, okay, they got LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 firsts.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah. You
3 seconds.
3 seconds. You got some trade exceptions in there.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing the protections.
Right.
And I went, okay.
Well, it's really 1.
The protection on Charlotte.
Yeah. Because the other 2 are unprotected.
I think the funny thing is that I have now in my head, even though you're 100% correct, there's no protections on the San Antonio and Minnesota pick. In my own head, I'm like, well, the protection is that the Spurs are probably going to be really good in 2 years. And then the protection on the Minnesota one is, well, I don't know what the hell that's going to be.
True.
Yeah, but you're right. 1 protection, and that's on Charlotte this year.
So let's just assume it's 2 firsts in 5 seconds?
It's going to be 2 firsts in 5 seconds. Yeah, there's that Charlotte.
That's a safe assumption.
Charlotte's not conveying.
Right.
Plus, the Kings will, well, I mean, you hope at this point the Kings will be conveying the Kevin Huerter first round pick. And that's an important little part of this trade that we're going to get into. I mean, we're going to break this thing down all day, but in going through it and seeing that Charlotte pick, I don't think was for the 2 seconds. I think the Charlotte pick is because the Huerter pick is this is what I'm hoping, because I personally think they got pantsed. Absolutely pantsed. And I think San Antonio, I'm actually more upset at how San Antonio was able to do that than I am at how Sacramento handled it.
So let's throw the picks out for a second.
Yes.
Fox for LaVine is pantsed.
Fox for LaVine in the sense that you now have a guy in LaVine who doesn't help your front court, who doesn't play defense either. And you're now encumbered with him for about $100 million over the next 2 years, not counting this year. Now, to your point, the Kings need more 3-point shooting. LaVine is shooting an insane percentage from beyond the arc. And we're not even getting into his durability because honestly, he's had some issues, but he's been fairly durable this year. You're also talking about guys older. You're talking about guys got 40 whatever million next year, and then I think his player option, which the guy I think is going to pick up, is almost 50 million the following year. My issue is, and what we're going to do today a little bit. In fact, I have it here at 7:13. Is I want to take a look at McNair versus Pat Riley and how they're handling their situations. Because I think you look at a lot of the copium today is going to be, well, Fox is leaving anyways. You had to do something. And I'm going, well, hold on. Jimmy Butler is going to leave anyways. And is far more vocal about that. And Pat's not being held up.
Yeah.
Now, that may not work for them.
We don't know what they're going to get.
But I have a track record to go with Pat and with Heat culture and with that whole situation. And I look at the Spurs and I go, and when I first was trying to work out what a trade would be, I go, okay, what's on the table here? Stephon Castle, who they're saying is not touchable. Okay, well, I agree. Stephon Castle might be really good. I think Stephon Castle, his ceiling is probably De'Aaron Fox, which is what they're getting right now in his prime, who's going to sign an extension. But you want to make him untouchable? Oh, okay. Well, what else do we have here? We have Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan. We've got Atlanta's first this year. We've got San Antonio's first this year. San Antonio managed to acquire De'Aaron Fox and give up, I don't want to say give up virtually nothing, but they gave up virtually nothing. They gave up some picks they had.
Yeah.
And for me, that Charlotte pick is not for the Charlotte first round pick or even the 2 seconds. The Charlotte pick is, I hope, because the Huerter pick is encumbered this year, it's no longer encumbered.
Yeah.
Now they have a first-round pick this year, which opens them up to trading things now, which they would have had to have done it far in the future. Now, if we're sitting here, and I think, and by the way, and I think we will be, I do think, and I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass, but I look at, and we'll get into the trade exceptions and all the picks. Everything about this trade signals that it's part of something else.
Right.
And if we're sitting here tomorrow, Wednesday, after the trade deadline, and we're sitting on, we now added Zach LaVine and Cam Johnson. We now added Zach LaVine and John Collins. We now added Zach LaVine and player to be named later, we don't know. That's why I said today's going to be tough because everybody wants a hot take and everybody wants a grade.
Right.
And my grade today is going to be incomplete But I promise all I'm asking the audience is, at least for me, give me a break on today, and I promise you will get a firm grade once the deadline is passed or the next move happens. And I think we're going to get Monty McNair on at some point. We've already, had conversations, and that's and I can also promise you this. I 100% will ask him, just like we did preseason. Like, love Monty, friend, cool guy. This is business. Gonna have to ask him some tough stuff.
Sure.
So we're kind of doggy paddling right now.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the biggest question to me I would have if Monty was on right now or is in studio is, was this a trade that had to be done or that you wanted to do?
Right.
Because I think the other part of the layers of this, we can argue whether they got enough, didn't get enough, got too much, didn't get, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It seems clear to me that the front office and or above front office, we know what that means, is the goal was to stay competitive.
That's right.
So kind of in your castle, or even if, let's just say, I heard someone point out, what if they did, what did Chicago get from them? Trey Jones and Zach Collins. Let's say it was Trey Jones, Zach Collins, and I don't know, 3 Spurs first-round picks.
Sure.
That's probably a move a lot of teams would have done.
Yeah.
Just because, hey, we're getting a little bit of something, and then it's really more about the future picks. Well, to me, this was more about, again, a difficulty of trying to thread the needle of staying competitive this year and next year, but while also getting some future assets. So I think they got close to that. But I mean, again, this is going to be debated. Even if you had a firm grade today, it's just like a draft. Like, we have rights to go, well, it was a C then, now it's a F, or now it's an A+.
That's
I mean,
right.
We got to wait and see what it all turns into.
Well, you asked what the Bulls were doing, and I think what the Bulls are doing is Zach Collins makes 16 this year, 18 next year, and then he's done. I think the big thing, probably the biggest thing the Bulls have done, is they got some movable pieces and picks, but they also got off of $100+ million over the next 2 years. They really wanted to get off of Zach LaVine's contract.
Yeah, I think I saw it where it's like Chicago over the last couple has dealt DeRozan, LaVine. There was one other, and Caruso.
Yeah.
And they basically have Giddey.
Yeah. Yep.
Out of all of that.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, there's other players. That's not fair. But the piece is Giddey.
Well, the other thing I saw today, too, which kind of hurt, was the Sacramento Kings have effectively traded De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Haliburton for Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine.
I don't think that sounds as terrible as I think you think it does. Well, Sabonis for Haliburton, we've already debated too.
I love that.
Okay.
And by the way, and I'm not, and I'm just saying that for more of like a let's set the table. Like, it's 3 years ago you had those two in the backcourt. That is now turned into Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis for better or for worse. And we also, by the way, Jason, really, we're already done. One other thing we're going to talk about today, and you mentioned it a couple times. Number one, if we always play the game like if you had a lie detector, if I had a lie detector hooked up to money, I'm so obsessed with wanting to know how much ownership had to say in this.
Mm-hmm.
That is the number one answer I want. Never get a straight answer.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get a straight answer, but
it'll probably be we're all on the same page.
Right. He has a voice and we all are in the room.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Secondly, you talked about win now pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to have a conversation about that.
Okay.
What are we winning now?
That's fair.
What are we winning now? What are we doing? What is our ceiling? We always bring up Mikey Moore and the MLEs that Jeff Petrie had for you old heads. Like, are we just treading water at the maybe we get in the second round? I mean, what is our ceiling here? What are we doing? And you're paying money for it. And what's the ceiling? Because I don't think the ceiling on this team is a championship.
I don't either. Yeah, I didn't before the trade nor now.
No, I didn't. So what are we really trying to do? So anyways, we got a lot to talk about. Well, of course, take your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. 916-339-1140 is your text line. Yes, we will talk about not only Luka Doncic going to the Lakers, Anthony Davis going to Dallas, but why I would quit watching the NBA more because of the Lakers than I would because of the ineptitude of the Sacramento Kings. It just continues. It absolutely continues to baffle me why we're just okay with this. And if David Stern were alive today, you got to wonder how he'd look at that trade as well. Either way, we got a lot to get to. Sit back, relax. We'll look for your participation all day long. We're all in this together, kids. We'll be right back in just 1 minute.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news. De'Aaron Fox has reportedly been traded to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team deal that lands Sacramento, Zach LaVine, and 3 first-round picks. Stay up to date on SacktownSports.com at 11:40 a.m.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
The good news, you finally lost the excess weight and found the body you knew was hiding underneath it all along. The better news, InShape Fitness is here to help you maintain your new look and, dare we say it, enjoy the process. InShape has everything you need to build muscle and help keep the weight off. From fitness classes and personal trainers to swimming pools and saunas. Plus, plenty of full-length mirrors to admire your new self along the way. We are InShape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
About 5 days ago, I reported that the Sacramento Kings were now open to listening to trade offers on De'Aaron Fox going into the NBA trade deadline. And he lands exactly where that one targeted destination was for De'Aaron Fox. And a lot of it is because the Kings and Fox's agent, Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, they had some candid conversations over the last several weeks, the last several months. And this was the Kings getting out ahead of what was essentially going to be inevitable this offseason, which was a trade of De'Aaron Fox out of Sacramento. He was not willing, as of now, to sign long-term with the Kings. There were real concerns about his future there. And for them, the moment that they could figure out a trade, get out ahead of it, they did that. They get Zach LaVine, an all-star player, having a great bounce-back season, 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks.
Yeah.
And for the Spurs, the moment this guy becomes available, you can pair him with Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama wants the front office, Brian Wright, their general manager, to make decisions on their own. R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich, and organization. But there's one thing that gives the Spurs organization pressure on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't Victor Wembanyama vocally. That's his play on the court.
Yeah. And the front office is doing everything they can very quickly. This is Wembanyama, only Wembanyama's second year, and they are surrounding him. What a deal. Look, I know our listeners don't care, but God, what a deal for San Antonio.
Yeah, like it for them.
I mean, really, really like it for them as they get De'Aaron Fox. Hey, Jordan McLaughlin too, right? Yeah, I know. We will at some point say goodbye to Kevin Huerter. He's a part of the deal too. But the Kings get Zach LaVine. They get Sidy Cissoko, who has kind of been back and forth G League. Now, this is being touted as 3 first-round picks. You heard Sham say that. Yeah. Look.
Today it is.
Today it is. But I believe it is top 14. Did I read that right?
Yeah, for Charlotte. And I still think they have, the 3rd worst record in the league? 4th worst record in the league?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, I'm just so everybody can fully understand. They have the 4th worst record in the league. They're 12-34. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The Sacramento Kings are currently the 14th team in the NBA. So the Charlotte Hornets are currently 11 games behind the Kings.
Well, in that spot, but I think if you're going for what you're praying for or something, they'd have to get to 10th in the East, which I think is Atlanta, and it's still they have 6. Yeah. And then they have to win 2 play-in games to be a playoff.
It's not happening.
Yeah, they're going to get 2 second-rounders.
They will get 2 second-rounders
if they keep that.
If they, as it is right now, which exactly always. So they would basically get the Spurs unprotected first-round pick in 2027. Okay, and again, we'll break this down in 10 minutes, but Where do we think the Spurs are going to be in 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, guessing higher than they are now. I mean, what's interesting is Victor Wembanyama is playing at an elite level.
Yes.
And they've got all those young players that they were excited that they kept, and they are below 500.
That's right.
But if we're thinking 2 years from now, I would think they'd be better. But, life moves fast. Who knows?
And of course, we don't root for this. Well, I think some Kings fans will honestly probably root for this, but Wembanyama comes down wrong, and that pick looks a lot different. A lot of things can happen. The 2031 Timberwolves pick is probably the most interesting one. You know what really I gotta be honest, what pisses me off the most about this deal? And it's so silly. Well, it's actually not silly, but I don't know why it bothers me so much. I kept looking and looking and looking. I was like, oh, it's for sure in there. And they couldn't get their pick swap back from San Antonio in 2031.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't part of it, right?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You can't say, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I want that pick swap back.
Right.
You couldn't do, even just for the optics.
Yeah.
San Antonio still owns the rights to swap with us in 2031. And if you're worried about how good they're going to be in 2027, in 2031, which is in 6 years, what? Wemby's going to be 27, just entering his prime?
Yeah, the crazy thing to think about 2031 when you're trying to even do that, I feel pretty safe to say on whatever this is, February 3rd, 2025, there will not be a member of the Timberwolves. That's including Ant.
Yes.
Still on that team.
Think you're right.
And I don't think there'll be a single King.
I agree with you.
That's on this team.
No chance.
So
no chance.
Yeah, considering Fox almost got the record. No one's ever played 8 full seasons but Jason Thompson. So that'd be like Keegan.
So when Devin Carter or Keegan's breaking the record, right.
But yeah, so that's forever away. So yeah, if anything, those are more chips for the Kings. But
yes.
But yeah, what do they do with them?
It's effectively 2 first-round picks in the future, and what will end up being 3, 4, 5 second-round picks. And if you're sitting there wondering, what have the Kings ever done in the second round? Like ever have they ever done in the second round? And the answer there is, well, a couple things, but I get it. They haven't done Jokic or Draymond Green or anything. What those eventually amount to, the Kings were like pretty much out of second round picks. So this restocks their second rounders.
Yeah.
And that helps, you would think, in future moves. But we'll break all that down. In the meantime, that wasn't the only news over the weekend. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
This deal materialized in the shadows. This came out of nowhere. This is maybe the most stunning trade, definitely that I've been a part of in recent NBA history, as far as it was never clearly out there. And you saw 2 teams in Rob Pelinka with the Lakers, Dallas Mavericks, Nico Harrison there, doing this deal. And I'm told Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, the players, coaches, a lot of people on both sides with the Mavericks and Lakers had no idea. I can assuredly tell you it's a fact. LeBron James had no idea this was coming. Anthony Davis had no idea this was coming. I'm told Luka Doncic is still stunned about this trade. But when you look at the totality of what just occurred, Luka Doncic is a 25-year-old, like you said, mega star, perennial all-NBA player. He's someone that you think of as untouchable, as a guy that's never going to be traded. I'm told that the Mavericks actually approached the Lakers and offered Luka Doncic a few days ago in a trade. Very recently, the Mavericks went out. They knew exactly who they wanted. They wanted Anthony Davis. That's the player that if they were ever going to trade Luka Doncic, if this was even a thought that was going to cross their mind, it was for AD.
You asked earlier, what was I thinking when the Kings made that move? When that happened, Chris was the first one I saw it from. He sent us, in the show chat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Hack.
Yeah. And then I looked at Shams. I go, wait, that's the real Shams. I go, okay, Chris. Not even, I thought Chris, you know how he can do some tricky things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And then, you didn't start to look. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, obviously did not see that coming.
In 2013, in a Nike presentation to Steph Curry to try to get him to stay with the shoe company, there were people in the room, you may remember, who called Steph Curry Seth Curry. And the presentation, the PowerPoint, etc., was actually a presentation left over for Kevin Durant. That, along with not offering Steph Curry a signature shoe, remember that was 12 years ago, resulted in him switching from Nike to Under Armour. And the Nike executive that made that presentation was current Mavs general manager Nico Harrison. And I now think that is easily the second worst thing he's ever done. Look, I would love to have spent all day on this. I need to see where the whole, and by the way, no offense to Anthony Davis. This has nothing to do with Anthony, very little to do with, okay, it has a little to do with Anthony Davis. I get that Luka Doncic's weight and conditioning is in question. We have said on this show for years, look, we think we should have picked Luka. But I've shared before, we've talked about it at length. Vlade's worry the whole time was this kid is going to be a nightmare when he gets older. His conditioning is terrible. His weight fluctuates. He loves to have fun, if you will. And if the Mavs are looking at that and saying this, if you believe what they said, he's ballooned up to 270. God knows the other things that are. You don't want to speak out of turn, but it's not just his weight, dude. It's how he handles himself around the organization, what his camp is doing, what he may or may not be doing. There's a lot of. I don't fault the Mavs for wanting to, before you give him the largest contract in NBA history next year, to make a quiet move or make a move to move off of him. But NBA malpractice, trade malpractice was thrown around during the Halliburton Sabonis thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is malpractice.
Because they didn't open it up?
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, because I might be in the minority. I don't think they did terribly in the return, but it also begs the question, if you put that out there, what do you get? What are the possible offers? And the fact that the reports suggest that when it was first approached, they were laughed at. Like, wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
So that just tells you a little bit of something too. And the one thing though that is really curious, I mean, Dallas, talk about being open about their decision. I mean, they had the press conference. They're saying their true feelings. They've shared it. I mean, they know more info about Luka than anybody else, but that's still stunning. And let another team figure that out. Like, you get out of there with their franchise for Luka, and then you go, yeah, we think he was this, this, and this. Okay, that's fine, but wow.
Once Luka Doncic is known to be on the market, it's the biggest feeding frenzy ever.
Yeah.
And when
the fact that it wasn't known by anyone.
And the Mavs approached the Lakers.
Yeah.
And you traded a 25-year-old generational superstar because you were worried about his conditioning to a guy whose nickname is literally street clothes for a guy who's 31, who has a lot of mileage on him. And the absolute worst part, it's funny, I'm looking back at this Anthony Davis deal I wanted for reference, Pelicans, Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers gave up Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 3 firsts. Wow. That's actually revisiting that. That's actually a crazy haul. But when you've got Donovan Mitchell getting 4 firsts, Rudy Gobert getting 4 firsts, when you look around at some of these deals that have happened, Mikal Bridges was a 5 first, I think, overall.
And back to Gobert, I think he was 9 players, like the 4 firsts and like 5 players.
Insane.
Yeah.
And that's what you got for Luka.
Yeah.
That's what you did. And you didn't, and that's the thing. And you didn't open it up. You didn't open up the bidding. And once again, Jason, just in our lifetime alone, it seems that every time the Lakers begin to get irrelevant, here's Shaq forcing his way there from Orlando. That's over. Oh, okay, cool. Here's LeBron James coming in and signing as a free agent. Here's Anthony Davis forcing his way there through Rich Paul from New Orleans to the Lakers. And just when we're cap hit, we don't have picks, we're screwed. We're going down with the ship. Oh, here's Luka Doncic in a gift box.
That organization, I don't know, whatever your list is of top 20, top 30 players of all time. I mean, Kareem, West, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Luka.
Yeah.
AD, I don't think he's on top 20 all time, but whatever. I mean, they have not been shy of some of the all-time greats. Even at the end, Malone and Peyton, like it's incredible.
I was going back and forth with a Laker fan yesterday on social media. I was like, the problem is you guys haven't drafted your own guy in forever. In fact, the last great, and he went through, and honestly, the last guy they drafted was Magic.
Drafted, yeah.
Drafted.
They did draft Kobe.
Because
Right.
they didn't draft Kobe. I know that's a technicality, and I'm even willing to give Jerry West all the credit for that. Magic was the last guy.
Yeah. And even like Worthy's a Hall of Famer, and he doesn't even get mentioned.
Nope.
Because the list is too big.
They didn't draft Kareem. I mean, they drafted the Lobo. They drafted Goodrich. I mean, they've drafted.
Yeah.
But what was it? Up until did they just recently get a homegrown All-Star in the last year or two? Because one of my favorite things to say was the last time the Lakers had an All-Star go to the All-Star game that they drafted on their team was Andrew Bynum. Was Andrew Bynum. And I'm trying to think, was there somebody? I don't think so.
I already blanked. Did they draft Russell? But he wasn't an all-star on their team.
Was an all-star on their team?
He's a net.
That's exactly right. Andrew effing Bynum.
Wow.
Imagine if the Kings had that kind of favor with the league. All right. Kings close out the road trip tonight against Minnesota, and I'm sure Minnesota is going to be super happy. What is it with these teams losing before we? I mean,
that was a bad loss.
Let's break down the De'Aaron Fox trade. We'll do that next.
Cut number 3.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news. De'Aaron Fox has reportedly been traded to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team deal that lands Sacramento Zach LaVine and 3 first-round picks. Stay up to date on SacktownSports.com at 11:40 a.m.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Thinking about during the break. Remember last year when Dirt and Sprague beat us out in mid-market morning shows on the Barrett list?
Yeah.
Well, Jason, guess who's below us this year?
Eat it, Dirt and Sprague.
Eat it, Dirt and Sprague. That's right. Mid-market morning shows up 3 spots to number 18, followed by Dirt and Sprague. They're in Portland. And then...
nice try.
Yeah, great try, guys. And then KB and the wake-up call with KB and Andy in Indianapolis, number 20. Thank you all for that.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad. Love you, Mom. Thanks to that just came out during the break. We were really upset about the Dirt and Sprague thing.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, again, too much stuff.
We've made movement, though.
We're on Super Bowl Monday, and we're like, I honestly, are we even...
What's the Super Bowl?
Yeah, right?
Could you imagine if this was Super Bowl yesterday?
Oh, my God.
And this
right.
Luka trade, Fox trade, like, and the Niners were in it.
Dude, that...
We'd be like, hey, we're going 8 hours today.
Hey, seriously. Sorry, Alan. Just join us. By the way, shout out to Alan last night. Got on right after the trade, too. I was watching him. I was still on my 19-hour drive home. And by the way, if I seem a little loopy today, I guess I should apologize in advance. If I see a little loopy and a little more nasally than usual, I got in last night from London at literally it was 9:45 p.m.
Oh.
Ate some nachos, went to bed.
Woof.
I don't even know what the hell time it is right now.
I don't either. I don't know where we are.
I don't know where we are. I don't know what the hell we're doing. Anyways, congratulations to us. Back to why you're here. Let's lay out the deal. Lay out the deal entirely. So the Sacramento Kings get Zach LaVine. And I apologize, Jason. Well done by you. You booked this, Mr. Producer. 9 a.m. Chuck Swirsky. No, which I always think, I don't know. Why do I always think of Chris Farley when I hear that name?
Yeah.
Right?
Bill Bratsky.
Right.
I don't know.
That is exactly why. Chuck Swirsky, the longtime great Chicago Bulls radio play-by-play voice, he's going to join us. He's going to let us know. I mean, we know a little bit about Zach LaVine because we've been flirting with Zach LaVine for
Zach.
Since Vlade was here.
Yeah.
Since we offered him there
was an offer sheet.
4-year, $78 million offer sheet. Flirting with him for a while. He comes over. City Sissoko. I think am I pronouncing that right? I feel like I'm pronouncing
I think so.
A guard, long wingspan, G leaguer, kind of back and forth. 2025 first round pick from the Hornets. It has to be out of the top 14 to convey as a first to the Kings. So I'm just going to go ahead and call that 2 second-round picks from the Charlotte Hornets because it's just not happening. They get the Spurs unprotected in 2027, the Timberwolves unprotected in 2031. They get another second-round pick from the Bulls this year, a second-round pick randomly from the Nuggets in 2028. Hello. And they get their own second-round pick back from the Bulls in 2028 as well. When I first saw it, Jason, I went, okay. Okay, so you got Zach LaVine, who plays a different position, but I'm trying to cope my way through here. I go, okay. Zach LaVine and De'Aaron Fox's numbers are remarkably similar this year, if we're being honest. They actually really are. Now, if you look at them next to each other in stats, Fox is better than him in almost every stat except for I want to say most of the percentages. But Fox is scoring more. He's assisting more. He's rebounding more. He's stealing more. I think he's even blocking more. But when you look at them, they're actually incredibly close. Like there's not a distance in any of those. And then you get to Zach LaVine's actual percentages, and what is he shooting? 40? Is it 48%?
From three?
Yeah.
No, from
44?
Something great, but I know he's from the floor is 51, which is pretty amazing for a guard.
Yeah, it's
44-6. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I think he's 13th in made threes in the league, and he's I think 40 more than the highest King, which ironically was De'Aaron Fox.
Well, and yeah, he's also doing all that as you just mentioned. He's doing those numbers on I think almost 8 attempts per game. So it's a high volume. And that was there were two major number 1, number 2 issues with the Kings. Their front line in depth and their 3-point shooting. Well, they just instantly got better from the 3-point.
Correct.
I'm not going to lie either. That Monk to LaVine to Monk alley-oop game is going to be that's going to be fun to watch. Like, it will be entertaining. This also opens up a situation now where, as it stands, LaVine and DeRozan reunited. DeMar DeRozan went on Instagram and played the old Peaches and Herb reunited song over a picture of the two of them. I understand people saying it didn't work with the two of them, but I think if you go back I'm not saying it will work with the two of them. I'm not trying to defend that. What I'm saying is I think it's a little bit disingenuous because there were some injuries going on in that situation. Also, they didn't have Sabonis, they had Vucevic, they didn't have Monk, et cetera, et cetera. Now you're looking at most likely, Jason, Monk, LaVine, DeRozan, or Monk, DeRozan, LaVine. You'll have this kind of 3-guard rotation, and then Keegan and Sabonis still at the 4 and 5 as it stands right now. I don't think they're necessarily going to. Well, we'll see the proof of the pudding. I don't know that they're going to be demonstrably worse on the floor going Fox to LaVine, not just because of Fox and LaVine, but also what that opens up as well.
Yeah, and then literally there's some roster spots to add because also in the deal was McLaughlin and Herter, no matter what you think of the way those guys have played this year. I mean, McLaughlin was basically not much at all, and Herter has been disappointing, but they cleaned out 3 guards, but they added another guard, and there's still probably some questions at point and or backup point. Yes. So again, a few more days before the deadline and some assets that they have and some moves that feel like probably need to be addressed over the next couple of days. But the other part, and it's not an addition by subtraction by any means to me, but the cloud that was over the team, I think, is now gone for the moment. Doesn't mean today is not going to be weird. Certainly Wednesday here, if the home game will be weird. At some point, this will be their new team and their new normal, but what was happening in Philly and then in OKC was awful. Like they were in a fog.
No, they had started to say, the vibes are off.
Yep.
Looking at them head to head, LaVine's played 42, Fox 45 games this year. Fox has him by a point, 0.2 of a rebound per game. The one big difference is Fox has him by 1.5 assists per game. Again, that doesn't bother me because that's going to get soaked in by Sabonis and Monk, you would think. I don't think the Kings' total assists per game is going to go down putting LaVine in for Fox. Fox has a half steal more a game, neither of them block shots. But then you get to the field goal percentages, 47 for Fox, 51 for LaVine. This is the big one, 32% from the beyond the arc for Fox, 44.6 for Zach LaVine. That's just stupid. They both shoot about 80% from the field or from the line. And Jason, when you get into the nerd stats, box plus minus, Zach LaVine has him 1.4 to 1.2, value over replacement player. Fox has him 1.3, 1.2. So the argument I think some people will make, and I understand it, is, guys, we basically got somebody who doesn't want out here, and he signed for the next couple years, and we were able to stock some picks with this whole thing and get off of Kevin Herter. I think it's a perfectly understandable rationale. I think the big worry for me, and I will be saying this all day, is number one, is that the best you could have done? Number two, did you bend to the will of Rich Paul and De'Aaron Fox, who were not, by all accounts, saying it's now or never? Like this wasn't going to turn into a Jimmy Butler situation. They had the option to do something about this in the summertime when all the other teams opened up. And are you making the types of trades a team would make if they were already mid-table versus doing what does this do for the future of the squad long term? But I don't think, again, I can't last move they're going to make.
Right. And so you want to see the rest.
You 100% want to see the rest. As a matter of fact, I stole a little bit of Bobby Marks's graphic here. And again, sorry to get nerdy, everybody, but we're trying to do our job and analyze this and so we can all understand this. They are now $10.5 million below the tax, $14.5 million below the first apron, and they have 5 trade exceptions: a 16.8, a 12.8, a 6.4, a 5.9, and a 4.7. Somebody said, well, what are trade exceptions? Why does the trade exception matter? Without getting, again, too deep in the weeds, because you won't find it in the CBA. It's like a little silver bullet. What it does is it allows you to bring in salary and make a trade that will let you go into the luxury tax without paying penalties.
Right.
So simple math, let's say the Kings were right at the line and they acquired somebody for $14.8 million. It allows them to have an exception to go over the cap. So an ESPN trade machine, it would show green and not red. That's how I read it. And you would not have to pay the percentage penalties on doing that. So when you combine the fact that they're 10.5 below the tax, 14.5 below the apron, when you combine the fact that they have 5 separate trade exceptions totaling somewhere in the neighborhood of almost $50 million, that screams, and that Charlotte 2025 now unencumbers them from trading first-round picks because, again, I know I'm getting in the weeds. Because the Herder pick was going to convey this year and was encumbered, they could not trade a first-round pick until 2027. The George Stepien rule states you can't go consecutive years in trading first-round picks if it's encumbered. So they were stuck. The earliest they could give up a first-round pick would be 2027. Now they can give up that 2025 pick. And on and on and on. They have the trade exceptions. They're below the tax. And they have 2 open roster spots.
Yes.
Everything points to they're not done. So we're kind of in a bit of a waiting game right now. We will take a break. Why don't we get some of your phone calls? I see Bill's on the line. Bill, we really want to. In fact, we were saying during the break, I hope Bill calls.
I hope so.
You said that.
Yeah.
I said,
and here he is.
Here he is. So we'll talk to Bill. If you have calls, questions, whatever, statements, blah, 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 1-800-920-1140. If you want to text us, 916-339-1140 as well. Someone says, hey, what about Zach LaVine's defense? We can at least give you a little bit of the numbers as well. We'll do all that right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, this is Greg Pop-Up. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call at Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Everyone has a past. But what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
CD Sissoko.
CD Sissoko. There you go.
CD, not city. Not like, a city.
Yeah.
A CD. Like a seedy city. Jason, in all the excitement, we didn't even mention. It's Monday Madness.
That's right. Today.
Monday
Mayhem.
What do we have?
We have Kings tickets to give away each hour on the hour all day in our show, in the Styles show, and in the afternoon show.
Some random game, I'm assuming, whatever.
It's the next home game, which is actually pretty significant.
Wait, so you're telling me every hour on the hour, well, not on the hour.
Well, including this hour.
Every hour, including this hour, which has 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. We're going to have a pair of tickets to go see what will almost certainly be the debut of Zach LaVine,
correct?
CD Sissoko,
yes,
and everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, not the picks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's right.
So lock it in. Let's talk to Bill. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, I think. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm super happy. I'm a Zach LaVine fan. As much as I respect and love Pierre, and the Kings fans are going to be super happy. Him and Monk are going to just do highlight reel after highlight reel.
I don't, by the way, I don't disagree with you in a vacuum on that point. We mentioned it earlier. I think Monk and LaVine are going to bring the house down at times at Golden One Center. I have no problem seeing that. I guess, Bill, my main worry is, but are they going to be doing that in 10-point losses? And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm saying that's my question is, will it translate to victories?
I think we're going to be fine. DeRozan's a much better passer than people think.
Yeah, I thank you, Bill. But we haven't even gotten to this part yet. But if I'm reading tea leaves, this also he might be the one you move.
I didn't think about that. Could be. I mean, look, at this point, you've traded Aaron. I think everybody's up for grabs.
So you have these trade exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going after a Cam Johnson, a John Collins, I don't know. Herder's money's gone now.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Like that's the biggest chip they had financially,
right. And that would have been an expiring next year too. That's not. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, we got off of Kevin." No, don't look at it like that. I get that Herder was doing nothing for the team,
right?
But his asset was his contract at this point, and that was an asset we gave. There was value that we gave up in that, not the player, the contract. But DeRozan, that would make probably the most sense to me, because now you have a $25 million contract. You have these trade exceptions that allows you to bring in somebody, and I'm going to say this, and I want you guys to know this is not a bit. I'm going to mention Ben Simmons for a second, but please hear me out. I know everybody's grumbling. I'm over the Ben Simmons thing. I'm not trying to get Ben. That's a fun bit that I do. Hear me out for a second. They're trying to get Cam Johnson. One of the things that would be incredibly enticing to the Nets would be to get off of Ben Simmons' contract. With these exceptions, and if you were to throw in a DeRozan type thing, basically you were to go DeRozan, some sort of combination of these picks, and you were able to that may now allow you to go to the Nets and say, okay, this is not value for Cam, but because we can absorb now the Ben Simmons contract, and by the way, they may immediately buy him out too.
Mm-hmm.
This is not my normal bit where I'm trying to get Ben Simmons on the team. I'm saying if you're trying to read tea leaves and you're looking at Cam Johnson, that may be a situation with those trade exceptions again that add up. If you've got $25 million or whatever in if it was DeRozan, excuse me, you add in those trade exceptions. They don't have a lot of salary to play with otherwise. Would that allow you to absorb that and then work a buyout with him so that you could say to the Nets, okay, we can't give you value on value, but what we can do is we can greatly reduce when you're in a rebuilding situation. We can offer you a guy in DeRozan that, look, $25 million for the next 2.5 years is not that bad. Mm-hmm. He's a guy, and if you're rebuilding, what a guy to have on your team. Now, there's some other issues there, which is you just signed this guy.
Right.
And you screwed him with his pants on, sending him to a rebuilding situation. But again, I want people to start to think as a GM, what are some of the things we could do?
Correct.
All right. So we'll take a break. When we come back,
I guess they should call now to get their tickets, right?
I was going to say, we're going to do two things. Number one, we're going to do our best to grade the Fox trade in a vacuum. I know we said we're not going to do that, but we're liars. We're going to do that. And this is if nothing else happens. We're also going to pick in honor of De'Aaron Fox. How about the fifth caller?
There you go.
At 1-800-920-1140 to get yourself a pair of tickets to Orlando, Sacramento, first game back from the road trip, and the likely debut of Zach LaVine for the Kings. We'll do all that right after this.
Fisher Investments. We may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, getting out the door to a mild start to the day with cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower for the morning drive. Aside from that, most of your daylight hours will be dry. Next round of steady, heavy rain arrives after the sun goes down tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Just like in basketball, you need the right team to win. And that's why I recommend Folsom Lake Kia. They got low payments that change the game. And you can always buy with zero down with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia and tell them DC sent you.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Hour number 2. All right, if you're on the line, tickets have been won.
But that's not your only chance.
Not your only chance. Hey, Jason.
Huh?
You know what we should do?
What's that?
Give away the second pair right now.
Oh, my goodness. You're doing it now?
To somebody who's already on the line.
This is crazy talk.
You know what? It's crazy times in Sacramento.
Okay.
In case you're just joining us, we got a pair of tickets to go see. Now, I say the probable debut of Zach LaVine. Let me just, Jason and I were talking about this a couple breaks ago. There is virtually zero chance Zach LaVine will debut. In fact, I'm just going to say it. There is no chance. How it works in NBA trades, and remember, when it comes to players, you've got Zach LaVine, C.D. Sissoko, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. So you have and Jordan McLaughlin and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 7 players and a bunch of picks, but you have 7 players traded. If all of them take and pass their physical, except Jordan McLaughlin or C.D. Sissoko, one of them does not take or pass their fit. none of the others, you can't play until everybody's now. If
teams can waive that, but
they
still.
can, right? But they all of them have to. There's no chance that gets done tonight.
Wouldn't it be ironic if Fox's hands are like an issue?
It's funny you say that because they're going to have to waive that because, and also we haven't even talked about this yet. But if you're the Spurs, do you tell Fox to go get the surgery?
No.
Why?
Because honestly, I think they're like, we're going to catch the Kings. We're moving in. We're right here. We want Victor Wembanyama in the postseason.
God, is that more valuable though than you let Paul play out his contract?
You got 6 year next 7 first picks.
Better, yeah.
You know what's funny though? For their perspective, like, look, we all think I think they did great.
Yeah.
They have a Kings problem. Like, you know what their starting lineup's supposed to be now?
What is it? It's like Castle, Paul, Vassell,
Four guards, and Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's a big
by the
man.
way,
He kind of plays like a guard in a weird way. Like
he's like
on
the best
perimeter.
3-point shooter.
Yeah, but I'd take that problem.
We will be giving away tickets though, and you'll almost certainly be seeing the debut of Zach LaVine. That's going to be a fun game.
So we're doing it now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm holding 2 numbers because we already have the calls.
We have full lines.
We went 5. Yeah, we have full lines. I'm holding 2 numbers behind my back right now. I want you to pick my right shoulder or my left shoulder.
I just want you to do that.
We're
going this side.
That would be caller number 4.
Oh.
And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 unscreened. Caller, who's this?
This is Trent, Laura.
Trent. Hey, Trent. Where are you calling from, Trent?
I'm actually calling from Livermore, California.
Livermore. Are you a Kings fan in Livermore?
I am absolutely a Kings fan in Livermore. I have lived in Warrior Central for far too long.
But you deal with it and all those loud, silly Warrior fans, and you sport your gear and you're proud?
I absolutely do. I have Warrior flags flying around my neighborhood, and I'm the guy wearing all the Kings stuff.
Honestly, God, nobody. And you have no problems making the commute from Livermore, home of the Lawrence Livermore Observatory, all the way up here for the game against Orlando?
I have no problems, actually. No.
Congratulations. You got yourself a pair of tickets. Well done. Hey. I'll put you on hold.
Thank you so much.
Our guy behind the scenes is busy doing all kinds of stuff, but hold the line. He will pick you up, and we'll see you at the game, my man.
Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Take that, Warriors.
So everybody else on the lines, hang up. We'll do this again in an hour.
Yeah.
Every
hour. That's great.
Every hour.
Yeah.
What great timing.
Yes.
Jason.
Yep.
Grade the Fox trade. What would the Fox grade?
I mean, my honest answer, and I think it's a fair one, is incomplete. But I will do what I said earlier. If I'm grading it, I like what the Spurs did the best. I like what the Kings did second best. I like what the Bulls did the least. Now, so I'm probably going more like A, B minus, and then like I guess I get what the Bulls are doing, and is this the full teardown? So I really have to. I think with some of my pushback would be on. I've seen some people like the Kings trade. I've seen some people not like the Kings trade. I think more of it has been, and you get me. Tell me if you agree with what they don't like about the Kings trade. Primarily is that they couldn't get more from the Spurs per se.
Yes.
But I try to remove that part. I mean, that's a factor. I don't want to minimize that. I feel like some people are not respecting Zach LaVine enough.
I think you might be right.
And that's why I just said, like, if you just did Fox for Zach LaVine, I'm sure some people would go, "Oh, the Kings, they didn't win that." It's a little bit like Luka for AD. I think some people think that's so lopsided. I mean, you're going more to the age, but like AD's a good player. Luka's incredible though. But I mean, Fox is a really good player.
Yes.
Technically, is he an all-star? He's been an all-star once, right?
I think LaVine's been an all-star twice.
Yeah, and probably could have been this year, but they're in the wins. Wins problem. But I think he feels some of the stuff the Kings need, not all of the stuff the Kings need. You are definitely going to miss De'Aaron Fox.
Yes.
I'm going to miss De'Aaron Fox. I didn't want to see them trade him, but I don't think it's awful. But it also kind of, what is the rest of it? That's the part.
That's the problem.
Like if we end up feeling like, man, that's what they did with the assets, then I'd go, I'd probably lower the trade. But if I'm going to go back to what I think they were trying to achieve. I think they were trying to achieve getting future assets, not killing their future, threading the needle with trying to stay as competitive as possible this year. I think they did that. Now, you can argue whether that was the best plan.
Yeah.
I think that's what they did.
Fresh off the presses here, I'm going to give you Kevin Pelton's rankings.
Okay.
He graded it off of ESPN. He actually did it late last night. Would it surprise you that he actually gave, of the three teams, he gave the Kings the worst grade?
It would surprise me, but that's okay.
To be fair, he gave the Spurs an A.
Okay.
He gave the Bulls a B+. He gave the Kings a B-. So they're pretty close.
I'm curious in the B+, but that's okay.
So let's go with the Kings first. I'm just going to read what he says. Dare we consider the possibility the Kings will actually improve the rest of the season thanks to that trade? Fox and LaVine have rated similarly in most all-in-one stats this season, and Fox's play has been uneven over the 10 games since he returned from a brief absence because of the glute contusion. In that span, Fox's usage rate has dipped to 23%, down from 29%, and he's hitting just 44% of his two-pointers. He's also dealing with a sprain to his non-shooting right thumb. LaVine's high-volume three-point shooting could be a better fit for a Kings starting five featuring two low-volume three-point shooters in DeRozan and Sabonis, even though Sabonis is making 47%. Of the 43-man lineups that have played at least 750 minutes together this season, according to NBA Advanced Stats, the Kings have 4 of the 10 lowest three-point attempt rates that included DeRozan, Fox, and Sabonis as a trio. It puts a little bit of a ceiling on their postseason offense. We already know that DeRozan and LaVine can fit alongside each other well from their 3 seasons in Chicago. The LaVine-Sabonis fit should be natural, too. LaVine is used to working with a pick-and-pop center in Nikola Vucevic and has actually produced more points per chance from his pick-and-rolls this season than De'Aaron Fox's. The Kings might also need an organizer at point guard or could rely on playmaking by committee as well. Monk averaged a team-high 8.7 assists in the span when Fox was out for 3 games, which, by the way, were all wins. The structure of this trade, here's what matters, I think. The structure of this trade will give the Kings the ability to add salary before the deadline. They will be about $10.5 million below the luxury tax line with 2 open roster spots and can use their $12.8 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception to take back contracts. Removing Herter's $18 million from next year also means they no longer have to sweat adding salary beyond the season. Plus, they have more picks to trade, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of the thinking we were talking about, too. It all points to, I don't think, and again, if we come back, what is the deadline here in a week? Thursday. If we're doing Friday, and it could happen before, but if we're doing Friday's show, and this was the move, or this was the move, and then they picked up a, McDaniels, McLaughlin type, like I'm going to be upset.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it still extends to the summer, but that feels like,
it feels like you're punting on the season. Like, okay, let's see what you can do, and then we're going to punt. I don't think that I cannot imagine the way this trade was structured was very much a structure of we need to ship Fox, we need to get back what we can, but it's not just Zach LaVine. We're trading De'Aaron Fox for Zach LaVine, and now the ability to have a cupboard in which we can maneuver another move, because this is not addressed. Their depth, it is not addressed. Their big man issue. Yeah. None of that's been addressed. Now they can Jason, right now they can turn around and throw 2 seconds for Jonas Valanciunas.
Right.
That you've got that sitting there. Yeah, that's done.
That'd be fantastic.
Not saying that's what they want to do, but you now have that. They didn't have 2nd-round picks before. They had already traded all of them.
Yeah. So back to the other thought, too, of like the trying to massage the thought of staying competitive this year. And again, let's just say Fox, like we said earlier, it was for the Bulls package, which was what? Trey Jones, Zach Collins, and a bunch of first-round picks. I think they would have hurt their chances of being as competitive or making the playoffs this year, but that's a way to go. But let's say they got Castle. Do you think? I think they don't believe that would have helped them this season,
and I would agree with that.
So that's where the debate to me is. So if we had Monty in here, it's like, all right, obviously it was important for this organization to still have a pulse this year. But again, back to, I think you asked a great question. What's the pulse? Is it a top 6 seed? Is it a 10th in a play-in? Like yes and yes, or is it 12th? Yes. But like, is that the best plan? And I think that's the plan they went with.
I think that what has happened is I think Vivek Ranadive and the executive board there have correctly gauged this fan base, in the sense that this fan base has been without for so long that, unlike in LA or Miami or Dallas or Minnesota, if this team can get back and if they can just win a first round series, which is a lot, by the way, I actually don't even think they need to do that to placate most of the fan base. I think if they just get back and they're able to play a playoff series, I think the majority of the fan base will be placated. Then they'll do some this and that in the offseason and build momentum. I do think it's a very short-term view, though. I understand the mathematics of season ticket holders. I understand the mathematics of trying to remain relevant. I think the question is, when we say staying relevant, I think they did what they screwed up with the handling or mishandling of the Mike Brown firing. I think the message being sent that they traded Fox to where he wants to go, as much as that pisses off a lot of fans, that's the type of stuff that counts with agents and other players, though. They did right by the player. Now, if they were to, like I said before, if they were to ship off DeMar DeRozan and some stuff to Brooklyn for Cam Johnson, well, now you brought in DeRozan and you just shipped him to a rebuilder when he's got maybe 2 years left. That's gonna pull back. But some of this is also, it's tough to quantify. I know nobody wants to hear like, well, the Kings improved reputationally amongst the league. Well, that's not quantifiable right now. I just don't want to be a team that's treading water, that's picking 15th, 16th every year, that's one and done at best in the playoffs. I don't want to do that long term. And that's my main worry. We will take a break. It's a quick 30-second break, everybody. When we get back, let's just take a quick look at what the starters look like right now, what this team looks like right now, and a word from Overhead Doors with Jason Ross. Don't forget, we're giving away tickets every hour while we're on the air live. That's from now until 6 p.m. Every hour on the hour or sometime during the hour, we're giving away tickets to go see the Kings and the Orlando Magic. We'll pause. We'll take a break. We're right back with all of you after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, Jason Ross here, and let me tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. We are now in February, and is your garage door stuck in these winter blues? February is the perfect time to give it some love at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. They're here to keep your garage door running smoothly. And this month, this February, they're spreading the love with their Sweetheart Special. That's $150 off a garage door with a purchase of a garage door opener. Now, the experts at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento provide fast, reliable service that's always on time and always done right. From squeaky hinges to full door replacements, they have got you covered. A terrific company and great people. They've done this for a year, 70-plus years in our region, and third generation of owners. So don't let your garage door be the heartbreaker this season. Visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com for your free estimate, opening doors to your home and your hearts this February. And again, you can contact them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
By the way, I probably should mention, too, we're already an hour in, that what a great day for Chris to pick to be sick.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But we got Anthony.
And not sure if Anthony seems pretty young. Anthony, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, I know this. This would be good.
Are you familiar with a guy named Wally Pipp? Thumbs down. He doesn't know who Wally Pipp is. Well, you might.
Yeah.
You might want to familiarize yourself with Wally Pipp.
It's good for you.
It's good for you.
Bad for Chris.
It's very bad for Chris. So we want to thank Anthony behind the glass. And by the way, these are things only because I'm a psycho that I might notice that you might not. But if you're noticing a slightly different, like we're not doing 3 for Madness today.
Yeah.
We're cutting out our benchmarks. We're not doing 4 down territory. We'll get back to that tomorrow. But obviously, way too much to talk about. If the show sounds a little different today, like the board was barking back at Anthony earlier, that's not on. He's doing a phenomenal job. And as we've often said before, as silly and unprofessional, and that's 100% on me, as silly and unprofessional as this show seems, it's actually not even close. The most difficult show to run behind the scenes because we have a lot of things that go into it, formatics and different things. So for Anthony to get the call late last night and come in to be able to pull this off on a day like today, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and family Schlegel, I appreciate it. They said, what, no Kings Rewind? No, we had one.
Yeah.
It's ready, but
nope,
that game stunk.
And I don't know, we're not going back on 3 in the Key, no Kings Rewind.
Well, yeah, I think,
we are?
I think we have a revisit.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, we have one for tonight, but that's still
who's hot, who's not. We'll do that.
Yeah, that was a sponsor.
Yeah, there's a couple we'll do,
but not much.
No, this is all about what's going on here.
Yeah.
We want to thank all of you, by the way, listening online, for being in the chat right now. We appreciate that. Hit like, hit subscribe. That makes the bosses happy, and we hope you enjoy what you hear. And you stay tuned for our guy Alan Stiles, who came on right after the trade and did that.
Saw that.
Thing. And then I was still driving home from San Francisco. I got a call from our content partners at Channel 3. And they were like, hey, God bless them, but they were like, hey, we want to talk to you about the trade. Is there any way you could meet our guy down today? He's in the Doco area. I was like, no, that's just not happening. So forwarded it on to Alan. It was late. It was like 9 p.m. I figured you were probably, you didn't want to get up and go meet someone. And I'm pretty sure Alan did it. I'm actually a little surprised. Where's our guy, Mike Cherry? How are we not doing a TV cross?
Great point.
How is that not happening? Content partners. We're a
top 20 show.
Yeah,
guys.
hello. We just beat Dirt and Spray.
Yeah.
I actually want that. If we were doing something with them today, I would want our little cryon to say, like Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross beat Dirt and Sprague.
And then let everyone else figure it out.
Let everybody else, they probably think it was Sacramento's own Ed Sprague. Welcome back. It was a blast from the past. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. Want to say 1-800-920-1140 if you guys want to talk to us. Jason, the starting lineup, we believe, will be Malik Monk, either DeRozan or LaVine, DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. I think the rotation, obviously, past that, you got to look at Ellis, Lyles, and Carter. After that, I don't know. And that's where the next couple days will be interesting. I think it's fair to say, though we've watched Malik Monk play very well at the kind of distributor, creator, some questions maybe about him or a backup point guard, right? Whether Malik's, that's even like, I know I got a few people like, what? Last week when I said, look, if their deal with the Spurs, I'm the minority, but I would take Chris Paul back just for this year. Just for the yeah, exactly. You're already getting the shakes. But, everyone's looking at their young talent. Like, if he was thrown in there, I wouldn't have hated it. I totally get why some would have. I just wonder if they need more front court help. But I now feel like by losing McLaughlin, too, with Fox, those are your probably true 2 point guards that you lost off the roster.
So you're looking at, in the backcourt, you're looking at Malik Monk, Devin Carter, Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine. The thing is that you're also, somebody I hear a lot of like, well, who's the true? They don't really have a true point. Well, between Monk and Sabonis, yeah, that's the one thing is that we kind of forget about Sabonis. Sabonis is bringing the ball up the floor, and by the way, Monk can bring it up. LaVine can bring it up. Hell, in fact, is there a starter they have that can't bring the ball up the floor?
No, they're all pretty versatile.
Yeah. So, and again, this team is not complete.
Right.
I can promise you this much, and this I can guarantee you. It's not complete. Even if there's not another trade made, they have 2 open roster spots.
Yeah, they literally have
to. They have to fill them.
Yeah.
So there will be 2. But again, I think the trade that's coming is going to be for the guy they want or guys they want, and then you're going to have some filler that goes between that too. And part of that's probably, again, they've set themselves up to where it's not just the talent to give up, but it's also the salary to give up. Problem there, Jason. I highly doubt you're trading Malik.
Yeah.
Devin Carter, even if you were going to trade him, salary ain't that much. Doug McDermott, not a ton of salary. You're not trading. I doubt you're trading Keegan or Sabonis.
No, I think your best asset to another team right now, besides like what we're talking about as core, is probably Trey, just because he's got an expiring. But this is 8. It's not. That's getting you an $8 million player in return. Now you start to throw in the picks. It can change some things. But what's your best guess as to what they're looking to add? Not necessarily player, but do you think this is rotational bench players? I don't think they're looking at a starter. I don't believe, but maybe.
I think they're looking. I think
they're looking at everything.
I think they're still looking at Cam Johnson.
Okay.
I really think they're still looking at Cam Johnson.
And can they get Cam without any of those rotational guys?
Well, let's see, Jason Ross. Let's bring out the let's start with this. Cam Johnson makes $22.5 million a year.
Okay,
that's part of his attraction. Is
right.
That he's attractive financially.
Yeah.
Now,
you know what's funny about him, by the way, real fast
yes.
on Cam? Like I was looking now, he's starting to get in the weeds on stuff. It's because I saw some people like, Zach LaVine, he's 29, like 29's a dinosaur.
Right.
But Cam's 28.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I was surprised. I thought he's like 26.
I actually
25.
thought, that's exactly right.
That surprised me. And I don't think he's a dinosaur by any means.
The reason why, and by the way, we're also ruling out, this is where it gets really silly, ruling out third teams.
True.
But I'm looking up and down on the money, and I'm thinking, God, it would be really difficult to get a Cam Johnson or to get a Collins if I wouldn't say it's impossible, but unless you're trading Sabonis or Monk or it almost has to be DeMar DeRozan if you're moving. So it doesn't have to be, but I'm talking about if you're working in that world.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that.
And so again, I'm not trying to ship DeRozan off here. What I'm saying is, hypothetically speaking, because DeRozan makes 23. So that right there works straight across. So you're saying, I'm asking you, if somehow what was leaving the Kings was DeMar DeRozan and one of those firsts and a couple of seconds for Cam Johnson, you're not a huge fan? I'm asking. I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay.
No.
Same thing I'm assuming with John Collins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I'm trying to keep what they've got, that core. I'd say whatever this current core is. You're just shuffling the deck chairs there and thinking I don't know. I don't feel like the team's better with that. I don't.
What I do wonder is if you could go Trey Lyles and some of those draft assets.
That's what I wonder.
Across for Cam Johnson, and that's where those trade exceptions come in.
Yes.
To where you could take back more money. You just have to make that attractive enough for the Nets. If they finished off, for example, and did something like that and were able to pull in, Cam would be my first choice. John Collins would be my second choice of the names mentioned.
Yeah.
And by the way, keep in mind, Cam's 6'8", 210.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden you also have a little bit of a glut is the problem. Even if you got Cam Johnson, which a lot of people, well, who's going to the bench then?
Exactly.
Somebody's got to go to the bench.
Right.
Which is, again, why I keep wondering if DeRozan's part of that, because you got to make you're going to trade Monk's best friend and make him the sixth man after he just signed 3 years, or you going to trade DeRozan to a rebuilding team. There's some things here.
Yeah.
But either way, if you were able to do that, and I keep going back to Valanciunas, I've heard some pushback on Valanciunas that, he couldn't keep up with the Kings' pace of play, that he can't play their style. Number one, I don't know about that. But most importantly, he only needs to keep up with their pace of play for 10 to 12 minutes.
Right. He's not starting.
Not trying to start him.
Yeah.
Trying to put this big side of beef down low that when Sabonis needs a breather or fouls out, you bring in a guy like Valanciunas that's Absolutely. You saw what he did against us when he played us.
It's great.
He was fantastic. So I don't know from the 209. Do the Kings have the cap space to get Ben Simmons with Cam Johnson? Everybody yelled at me for even bringing that up. We talked about that earlier. The Nets are looking to get off of Ben Simmons, and that may be the key of what the Kings can do if they were to go after a Cam Johnson because of where they are under the cap, because of these trade exceptions. Yes, and again, guys, they'll probably buy out Ben Simmons immediately, and he would, in that scenario, almost certainly never play for the Kings. But if that scenario allowed you to grab somebody like Cam Johnson without having to give up part of the core, well, then who cares?
Right.
Worry about that. Worry about that tomorrow. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk about how we got here. Okay, how did we get to this? Because the Grammy, the big winner at the Grammys last night was Kendrick Lamar. He swept every category that song was nominated in. Not Like Us. It was people were singing along to it. It was not a great night for Drake. And I mentioned that because that song was booming as DeMar DeRozan walked out onto the floor at the California Classic with De'Aaron Fox and Vivek Ranadive and everybody, and everybody was beaming, pun intended. How did we go from that to this? And in the end, what's the final word on De'Aaron Fox? We'll talk about that next.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news. De'Aaron Fox has reportedly been traded to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team deal that lands Sacramento, Zach LaVine, and 3 first-round picks. Stay up to date on SacktownSports.com at 11:40 a.m.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Dunks, threes, buzzer beaters. There's so much NBA happening. I gotta keep up.
Easy there. There's a better way to NBA with the NBA app.
Wait, really?
Follow your favorite teams and the league's brightest stars. Be on the ball with real-time stats and scores.
Yeah?
And go behind all the drama with new docs and shows.
Are you kidding?
Catch every swish, dunk, and bucket. All of this, all in one place, all for free.
Thank you.
There's a better way to NBA. Download the app today. Available on the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty
smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, I don't mind the way this guy's thinking on the text line, 916-339-1140. You could also we talk about Valanciunas. You could also get look at Bruce Brown, who wants out too.
Ah, okay.
Wouldn't mind that guy
in
our rotation as
right.
well. Play a little defense. So last July, DeRozan, that news breaks. Remember, I was driving back, I think, from Ripon, visiting family. All that news broke, and literally had to pull over. Had the wife and kids in the car. I pulled over. We switched drivers so that I could get on the phone and start maneuverationing and talking about it. And it was funny how it all broke down because everybody in the building, the Kings employees, game ops, knew what was coming because they had to set it all up. So in fact, in effect, they knew about the signing before it was announced because they kind of had to. They knew he was in the building. They were finishing it all up, and then they were going to do this big surprise entrance. They wanted to do this big surprise entrance with DeRozan. He comes out, and we're going, okay. So we're sitting on Fox, DeRozan, Keegan, somebody, Sabonis, Monk. We just added DeRozan to this mix. We're looking really good. Mike Brown, that whole team, we're ready to go. Let's get revenge for last year. How the hell, who would have thought that just half a year later, Mike Brown fired, De'Aaron Fox gone, Zach LaVine is on the team, and here we are sitting with Doug Christie as the head coach and the team fighting for 500.
That's why to think about like this picks in 2027, let alone 2031. I mean, it'll be a completely different NBA at that time.
Yeah, it's I guess it ultimately doesn't matter because once he's gone, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It just bothers me still that when I see the take of, well, De'Aaron Fox screwed him and Rich Paul screwed him, and this is the situation they're in. And because I had said something yesterday online about, hey, standing ovation March, I think 7th. When San Antonio comes here, and he will get a standing ovation, and I think he should get a standing ovation. Let's just look at a couple things here. Look at what San Antonio is doing for Victor Wembanyama, and he hasn't even played 2 full seasons. If you're coming away with the idea that De'Aaron Fox was disgruntled, forced his way out, and screwed the Kings, I just think that's an incredibly simplistic and unfair way to look at things, especially when. Let's look at what Giannis. Did you see what Giannis Antetokounmpo said yesterday about Luka Doncic? I'm going to quote what he says.
Okay.
It was actually pretty profound, and he's a pretty profound dude when he wants to be. At the end of the day, I've said this in the past, you get evaluated every single day. You don't take anything for granted. Being an all-star, you don't take it for granted. Being able to go out there and put the jersey on and represent your team, you don't take that for granted. Being out there and representing your family, you don't take that for granted. Every second you play in the NBA, I love it. I try to play with joy. And at the same time, I understand the business of basketball, that sometimes teams need to make the best moves that are good for their organization and good for their position and for their own pursuit of greatness and championships. But at the same time, it has to go both ways. You cannot have a double standard here. When the teams make the best moves for them and they believe they can get another player to win now, when a player believes that he can go to a different team and he believes he can have a chance to win a championship, we cannot crucify the person and say that he's not loyal and he didn't do the right thing and he let everybody down, because history has shown you have to do what's best for you and your family. You have to do what's best and most important to win. Sacramento is not easy. You have to want it. If I was not a native of Sacramento, I don't know that I'd be here. I will always love the city and ride for the city, but it's where I was born.
Mm-hmm.
It's where everything is. But you have to want to be here. The reality of the situation that Kings fans don't want to hear, I don't want to hear it, is that Sacramento is a backwoods outpost for the rest of the NBA. It's where careers generally go to die. It's 40 plus years of history in which you have an NBA record playoff streak of not making it. You have we went over it last week, bad thing after bad thing after bad thing that's happened. You have players, we talk about Sabonis getting screwed out of the All-Star game. Well, I can give you 25 other markets where he probably doesn't get screwed. That's what happens, and you lose money. De'Aaron Fox has one All-Star appearance to Zach LaVine's two. Do you think if De'Aaron Fox is playing for the Bulls his whole career, it would be switched at worst? He probably had 3 or 4 if he was in the Eastern Conference. And my issue is just simply this, and people are going to plug their ears, and that's fine. De'Aaron Fox was 20-something games away from passing. By the way, congratulations, Jason Thompson, still the king of kings. Fox was 20-something games away from being the all-time longest tenured king. He didn't have a choice when it was time to come here. You're drafted. Right. You're forced to go to that team. He had opportunities to leave. He didn't. He cut. Remember the video he cut? Yeah. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to win a championship here. I want to play here my whole career. What De'Aaron Fox is guilty of mostly, and I'm not talking about making a bad decision on the floor or missing that shot or this or that or whatever. I'm talking about he's guilty of doing exactly what we as fans are guilty of. We wanted the team to improve and make better moves, and he didn't want to tread water here. What we're supposed to fault the guy for not wanting to tread water here for the rest of his career?
Yeah, he's guilty of what Mitch Richmond was doing, was not being able to carry a team by himself.
Yes.
Fox was great, but he couldn't get them over. So that's the guilt that he has.
Yes.
I mean,
that's the thing. And
he's one of the great Sacramento Kings of all time.
100%.
Yeah.
And this didn't just happen 2 weeks ago.
Right.
It didn't happen when Chris Paul or Rich Paul visited a month ago.
Yeah.
It happened last summer.
Well, and I also wonder, too, with the breadcrumbs being there, the last part where it heated up, did it get to the point of no return because it turned into a communication problem where this became very public? And I don't know if it never became public, if it gets this far, or maybe it was inevitable. Like Luka was, nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
It still happened. So you could know about it and it happened. You could not know about it and it happened. I just wonder if this fast-tracked it or not. I don't know.
Well, I think what ultimately fast-tracked it, when we look at the TikTok back, and we've seen Sam Amick and others report on this as well, we talked about this last week, was when the Kings went to him. Like, things were in kind of a holding pattern, then the Kings went to him with a deal they were offered. And that kind of was like, okay, well, let's get it done. And when you even have a parallel situation going on right now in Miami. And when you look at how Jimmy Butler is handling that, and Jimmy Butler went to the finals with that team. They've had a ton of success. And Jimmy Butler is still handling it terribly. And kind of, as for right now, handcuffing that franchise. De'Aaron Fox has never commented publicly about, I want to go to the Spurs, or I want out, or this or that, or whatever. He said last summer, guys, I'm not going to not sign the deal. I want to wait and see if I'm a max guy.
Right.
It's a difference of tens of millions of dollars. I think that's fair. And I want to see what you guys do to improve this team. And their response in improving the team was exactly what we had an issue with at training camp. It was, they added DeMar DeRozan. Okay, cool. And that's it. They went in completely wide open in the front line, which has killed them this year with the zero depth. Their bench is the 4th or 3rd worst, depending on the day you look, in the entire game of basketball. They can't shoot threes.
Other than that, they're fine. And so finally, then his agent says, okay, guys, we're still not demanding a trade, but if this is where he
wants to go, and you should probably do it before sooner rather than later, because the value is only going to drop.
Yeah.
And San Antonio, by the way, could have just said, we're not going to give you anything. We're rebuilding right now, and we got Victor Wembanyama. We'll let it go another year, and then we'll just sign him without having to give up anything.
Yeah, and if, again, the team motto or motive is to stay competitive, the last 2 games also were a smack in the face. Like,
100%.
You can lose, but vibes was a perfect word. Like, this doesn't look like the same team. Their spirit is gone right now.
From the 530, so is De'Aaron Fox's wife a liar? I don't understand. Rasay Fox came out and said he never asked for a trade. He never asked for a trade.
Still got traded.
He said, we're not going to sign the deal as is.
Yeah.
And if you're going to move us, you should probably move us. Now, you can parse words if you want, but it's literally not asking for a trade. From the 916, I just wanted to, I don't understand sometimes. Time for Carmichael Dave to rationalize the fact that, as most analysts say, San Antonio fleeced the Kings again. Monty trades a guard for a guard. Sorry, it's skipping all over the place. Another guard. Doesn't our idiot GM know there are forwards in the NBA? Go spin it, Dave. Your salary depends on it. Phil in Elk Grove. I would just simply respond to that by saying, Phil, you should listen to the show. Do you feel like I've been spinning it today?
You literally said the word. They got pants.
I don't know how to. Yeah. I don't know what people hear. Anyways, I hope that we do not surround ourselves with copium in this situation, because the way I look at it is that this situation was caused almost entirely by the Sacramento Kings franchise. They did this to themselves. They put themselves in this position. They were warned repeatedly. And in the end, this is what happened. This is what happened. And the reason why I think it's so important for Kings fans to attach themselves to that line of thinking is you can't rewrite history. You have to keep this franchise accountable. And if you don't hold their feet to the fire and keep them accountable, and if you rewrite history, and if you cope with, well, this and this and this, and if he doesn't want to be here, then good, he shouldn't be here, and yeah, he sucks. And you've got to look at them hanging him out and the rest of the team out to dry, and the way they handled the Mike Brown thing. You have to look at how they've handled all this stuff, not just for him, but then you wonder why players don't want to come here, why DeMar DeRozan was the best free agent signing since Vlade effing Divac. Like, if you don't hold them accountable and you rewrite history, you're doomed to repeat it time and time again, and you're going to smile while they're making you swallow the sword. And I don't want to do that, man. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's take your phone calls. Ashley, I see you on there. 1-800-920-1140. 1-800-920-1140. 916-339-1140 is your text line as well. We'll get to all that and some of your reaction and your phone calls coming up right after this.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
Hey, I got you something. What's this? Just a little Galentine's gift from JTV.
Do you mean jewelry television? I love their jewelry. They have the
new customers get $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
Yeah, their artisan collections, gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
Oh yeah. It's the pearl bracelet.
New customers receive $25 off their first purchase of $75 or more. Visit jtv.com/romance.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Oh, please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
reeling in the refund.
limited Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Hey, it's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and the regular season is over, but the high hand bonuses, those are not. $500 per primetime football game, whether it's weekend, Monday night, whatever it may be. And those bonuses available until the season ends, including the big game on February 9th. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Get to the phones. Hey, don't think I don't know that, even I understand how it works. Players gone and you rip them. And even after Fox is gone, I know that defending him in any way, I've done this long enough to know where that goes. And I'll pick on Russ because Russ is my guy. If you want to say that the Kings were never going to win a chip with Fox, that he was not the guy, that the team could be better without him, those are all incredibly, whether you agree or not, fair conversations to have.
Right.
We talked about that. But planting your feet in the ground and saying he didn't want to be here, you're lying to yourself, is just so, if you've been watching and paying attention, so incredibly, in my opinion, disingenuous for the following reason. Jason, let me give an example. Are you happy in your job right now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you enjoy working on the show?
Yes.
Tough question here. Do you enjoy us working together? Feel like we have good chemistry? I know.
Don't make me answer that.
Just lie and say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
Yes.
I love working with you. I love the show.
You made me say that.
We're having a great time.
Yes.
I'll use myself.
Yeah, no, I am.
I've known you since I was a kid. Everything's amazing. I know. Well,
I was a kid.
Well, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Too. If after the show today, we were walking outside like we normally do, and you came up from behind me and you kicked me right in the jungle and then proceeded to just curb stomp me, and I was a bloody, bloody mess. And I went into the office the next day and I said, I can't work with this guy anymore. And then everybody reacted and said, Dave didn't want to do the show anymore. Dave's the one who wanted out. Well, that's true. But we're forgetting something that we're pretending like, and obviously I'm using a silly analogy. We're pretending nothing. Did De'Aaron Fox ultimately not want to be here? Yes, 100%. There's a road that happened before that.
Right.
And if you're not acknowledging that, I can't help you. He wasn't leaving breadcrumbs. He was leaving muffins, big blueberry muffins. Guys, I want to be here. I just want the team to do better.
Right.
I don't want to be out in the first round every year. I want to make sure this franchise is in the proper direction. It's not.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to paraphrase. I don't have the exact quote, but was it last summer? He wants to be on a team that is contending for championships.
Yes.
Now, this team made a play, and not just a first round, make the playoffs one time.
Yes.
Which then last year they didn't.
Yes.
And this year, to be determined, but they were kind of tracking in that play-in, missing, or just getting in the play-in, maybe the edge of the playoffs. So it was very uncertain. They hadn't addressed that, like, let's say, with certainty, where you go, oh, well, they're going to be the 2 seed and they're good. That was not the case.
And the one opportunity they had that they presented to improve the roster, DeMar DeRozan, who was right in front recruiting him, De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Why would De'Aaron Fox recruit a guy with perhaps the most respect of any player in the entire NBA, certainly up there? Why would he recruit him to a team he doesn't want to be on?
Right.
It was like, I want to be here. Come do something with us. Guys, okay, I helped. I did my part. We need to go out and get this now. We have no front line. We need help there. It's on you, Monty and Wes and Vivek. Crickets.
Yeah.
McDaniels. What Anthony? What was his name? I always want to say Jade McDaniels. It's not. Who the hell was
Jalen?
Jalen McDaniels. That was the answer. We all made fun of that. How do you think the guy playing is going to feel about that? And then ultimately leads up to what this is what happened. And my thing is this, as Kings fans, there's a bigger picture, man. If you're putting the blame and onus on De'Aaron Fox for what has happened, and you are not simultaneously looking at the franchise and pointing a finger and saying, you did this, you brought us here, you brought him to this point where he wanted to get out, you created this situation by firing Mike Brown on the way to the airport after running practice and not doing a press conference and making us the first line of defense and letting me dangle out there. People thinking I did this,
right?
That I had him fired. And I had to go to dinner with him and leak a damn picture so that people would maybe understand. I had to play my own PR. And it's not the first time you've hung me out to dry like you did last year. And my punishment was I didn't talk to the media for a couple of weeks. Instead of saying, how dare you question whether or not I'm going to go out and talk after a bad loss. I'm here every game. I talk after every bad loss. I asked for improvements. You didn't do it. I went out and helped recruit the one guy we got. If you refuse to hold, God, at the same time, I'm being, some guy saying I'm shilling for the team. I'm sitting here and I'm doing the dead opposite and getting killed for it. If you don't hold the team's feet to the fire for getting us to this point with Fox, to the point where we got probably lesser value on a deal for him, where we had to do something with San Antonio, where we had no leverage, and where our reputation league-wide is still in the dumps. If you don't hold the franchise accountable, I say this with love and respect, then you deserve every year where you say it's frustration after frustration after failure after failure after failure, and why us and why us and why us. If you're saying that and you still feel that way, that's what you deserve. You deserve that. You're asking for it. You're getting on your knees, you're opening your mouth, and you're taking this crap they're shoveling down your throat, and you're saying, please, sir, may I have another? If you're choosing to copium your way into thinking that De'Aaron Fox forced his way out, then that's on you, man. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm trying to say is do not let this team off the hook for what has happened.
Yeah.
That's it. 1-800-920-1140. Ashley's been holding on the longest. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to talk. Earlier you were saying that with the Fox being traded to San Antonio, that it kind of boosts our image around the league. But my question to you is, does it really? Because the Fox trade does help, but Mike Brown being fired the way Mike Brown was took away some of that credit that we were building with the NBA around the league. And I feel like with us having Clutch Player of the Year and Coach of the Year, that was the NBA giving their stamp of approval of what we were doing here in Sacramento. And then we go and fire Mike Brown the way that we did, and we got rid of our star player, and we're not really blowing this up and rebuilding the right way. Sure, we're trying to stay competitive. I don't know that this trade helps us do that. And if it doesn't, who's to say Doug isn't the next one out? And he's part of the Mike Brown tree, and he's been part of like a consistent, constant in Sacramento. So I don't think that would do us any favors either in terms of media personnel or like league, the way the league looks at us, you know?
No, I don't disagree with you. And I don't want to contemplate Doug being out yet, but if past is what's past is prologue, then yes, eventually next year, the year after, Doug will be gone. It'll be his fault. I mean, you saw what happened with Vlade. Now, Vlade did a little bit of that on his own. Oh, by the way, I should say, and sorry, Jason, I'm probably screwing up a future segment here, but I can't not say, big birthday today. Vlade Divac.
Yes.
Vlade Divac is 57 years old. And by the way, a little bit vindicated? Not vindicated.
I don't know.
Did Vlade gain points over the weekend? Probably not. Good morning, Joey. Welcome in.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Listen, Dave, I am 1,000% with you as far as, what De'Aaron Fox, he stayed with us for 7 years. How do you not build around this guy, or you wait so long to actually want to finally decide to build around this guy? It's just like a bad relationship. You're with someone for so freaking long, you're tired of it. You're sick of it. You got to move on. You can't keep taking on the same licking all the time. This front office reminds me of one other team that people are starting to get the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. It feels just the same way. Everybody's wondering, what is our front office doing? And why is it Monty McNair in front of an interview with the media answering questions? I feel like he's ducking it all the time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And look, as we take a break here, and we'll coming up in the next segment, by the way, not now, but next segment, we'll do Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game. Just want to prep you guys for that. I want to take more of your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. We've made the Cowboys comparisons.
Yeah.
Like that's out there. That is not a terrible comparison overall. I wouldn't say it's as bad. And by the way, let me just say this. I have no problems having legitimate and what I think is legitimate and constructive criticism of ownership. You'll never hear me say Vivek's not a good guy. Jerry Jones ain't a good guy. Vivek's a good guy. But we're talking about X's and O's and basketball and all that, and everything's on the table, and that's fine. As we break, there was somebody here. Oh, here we go. It's this from Jim on the chat. Dave, take a breath. No one wants to admit Mike Brown lost the locker room, lost 5 home games in a row. No, that's the thing. That's where I keep going back over this. I have no problems with him firing Mike Brown. Never had a problem with him. There was never about that. He had to go. It's the way that it was handled. And I know we've said this, people that listen every day are like, oh, you said that 100,000 times. That's the problem in today's day and age. You take context and things out of it and clips and this and that. No, of course they had to make a move, but there's ways to do things. Anyways, we'll take a break. When we come back, Eric, I see you. Paul, we see you. One line open, 1-800-920-1140. And we'll take more of your phone calls. And also, hopefully we get some time here. Thanks to De'Aaron Fox as well. We need to look back on his career as well. Remember, with all the emotion involved, still talking about one of the great Kings of all time. So we'll talk about that. Russ, plug your ears in the next segment. We're going to praise De'Aaron right after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL?
Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, Start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, getting out the door to a mild start to the day with cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower for the morning drive. Aside from that, most of your daylight hours will be dry. Next round of steady, heavy rain arrives after the sun goes down tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Christian here with the winning play for you. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right now for low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends and upgrade your ride today or shop FolsomLakeKia.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is your garage door stuck in the winter blues? Well, February is the perfect time to give it some love. Jason Ross here to tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. And they're here to keep your garage door running smoothly. This February, they're spreading the love with their Sweetheart Special, $150 off a garage door with the purchase of a garage door opener. Now, the experts at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento provide fast, reliable service that's always on time and always done right. From squeaky hinges to full door replacements, they've got you covered. So don't let your garage door be the heartbreaker this season. Visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com for your free estimate. You can get in touch with them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, opening doors to your home and your hearts this February and all throughout the year. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Black History Month on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Growing up, one of the most common quotes I heard throughout my community was, "You must understand the importance of the past to understand the present." That very quote, as stated by the late great Dr. Carl Sagan in one of his most famed lectures, undoubtedly can blanket so many parts of the history for African Americans in our country. A history that runs rich with so many accomplishments, so many moments of triumph, numerous barriers that have been broken, and a capability to access opportunities that were once not afforded to those of Black descent. History, defined as the study of past events, particularly in human affairs, or, as the Merriam-Webster Dictionary states, a chronological record of significant events such as those affecting a nation or institution, often including the explanation of their causes. History, Black history, African American history, or as it was once tragically called, Negro history. No matter the time of the year, we should always find time to celebrate Black excellence and all the contributions that so many individuals over the years have contributed. Though every year in the month of February, we shine a brighter light on those individuals and on some of those history-changing moments, and this year, it'll be no different. Take a journey with me, your boy Jay, every day throughout this month right here on Sac Sports 1140 as I give you my contributions to those who have laid the foundation and to some of those who continue the pursuit of greatness throughout sports. Remember, to know where you came from is to know where you're going.
Sometimes do you wish you could stop and get off and look back and see what's happening to Arthur Ashe?
Yes, but I really don't want to do that. Sometimes you wish you could, but on second thought, it's not too good because you don't want to look back. I always look forward to the rest of today and tomorrow. What's in the past is past, and there's water under the dam, and learn from your mistakes, and you must go from there.
Celebrating Black History Month on Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports. When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
This is not Kings news, and I'm not doing a bit here, but this is big enough to kind of cut into what we're talking about. There has been a trade request.
Request?
Yes, somebody has requested a trade, not from the Kings, and Jason, not in the NBA. As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, and that goal fuels me today more than ever. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. My goal has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Sincerely, Myles Garrett.
Oof.
Myles Garrett has very eloquently asked for a trade, and I think it's a little extra poignant, because in a weird way, somebody said on we were talking about how are the Kings the Dallas Cowboys and his Vivek Jerry Jones. And somebody actually made a really good point. They said, that is a terrible comparison. Say what you want. The Dallas Cowboys win more games than they lose. They generally make the playoffs.
Right.
And by the way, they have, even though it's, a long time ago, it's not like we're sitting here talking about the Kings rings in the 90s.
Right.
They have rings. They have a foundation of success and expectations, and they're one of the tentpole franchises in the NFL. So they're right. They said the proper comparison here, and this was before this news broke, the proper comparison is that the Sacramento Kings are the Cleveland Browns of the NBA, and as gross as that sounds, that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's actually 100% correct, complete with heartbreak and bad luck and all that fun stuff.
Fun.
Yeah. So Myles Garrett, in a sense, is in spirit doing very similar to what De'Aaron Fox did. And here's the crap truth nobody wants to hear. Guys, I wanted to do it here. I've been here my whole career.
You made it clear.
I didn't have a choice in coming here. I've been here now. And by the way, this is where it gets unfair, because what I want to say, and I'm about to say it, see, I can quantify the things like he wanted help and didn't, this and that. I can also say the team's a lot better now than it was before. It's not like he hasn't gotten any help. Right. So let's not call De'Aaron Fox an angel. But it's not just that. It's also how the franchise is run.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the things that go on behind the scenes. Right. It's the dealings with the agents and all the things that we don't see, guys. It's all the things that we don't see, how the franchise runs internally, how they handle things, the culture or lack thereof. It is the Cleveland Browns, and no one wants to hear it. So what Myles Garrett did right here is he said, look, I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been in this outpost.
Right.
I've ridden and died for this squad. I have bled and cried for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not trying to go through it again. I don't have that much prime. I've got a few years left in my prime. I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to be relevant. I want to be on the national stage. I want to raise that trophy. And I don't have the confidence in this team to get me there. And I don't want to be the guy that's 37 years old who's ring chasing at the very end. What is the difference between what Garrett said and what De'Aaron Fox is saying? I don't have confidence. I'm missing all-star games if it's close. I'm in the outpost. I'm not getting the press. I'm not getting the love.
Yeah, I think De'Aaron had a higher opinion of himself than maybe some Kings fans did of De'Aaron, which I thought was an interesting push and pull there.
I think you're absolutely right. But I also think in De'Aaron Fox's mind, he's saying, I really wanted to do it here.
Yeah, absolutely he did.
I don't trust the franchise to make the right moves.
Yep.
I'm going to go over to the franchise that has multiple championships in a small market as well. And they got a generational superstar who currently have a worse record than we do, barely, but they do. I have confidence in that franchise and the ability to
And now we'll see.
He's not trying to go to Cleveland or I said
LA,
Cleveland,
New York.
LA, New York,
Yeah.
all that. I'm talking about the best of the best teams. He's saying, I want to build with this. I want to spend my prime, and I want to win a championship. And we're faulting him for that. Yeah. And I get it, because it sucks to be rejected. It sucks to be rejected, man. It sucks to be rejected and to be told that you're not good enough. But it's important for Kings fans to understand if they're being real with themselves. He's not saying the fans aren't good enough. He's not saying the city of Sacramento isn't good enough. Those are the things that kept him here. He's saying this franchise, I don't trust them to make themselves relevant in my career, and I need to go do that somewhere else before I sign my life away. And we want to fault him for that. I don't. Maybe I'm tripping. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, what do the Kings look like right now? Also, Jason, you've been working on this too. We have a thank you for De'Aaron Fox that you've been putting together, just kind of a collage of things. Just saying goodbye. Say what you want about De'Aaron Fox, one of the great Kings of all time. We'll get to that in just 1 minute.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton and Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
I mean, honestly, maybe the Kings could have waited a day and brought Myles Garrett here. That would have made sense.
It's an option.
We appreciate what I'm sure is De'Aaron Fox listening to the show, because he picked a perfect time to drop this. If you haven't seen this on Instagram, it's a picture of a smiling De'Aaron Fox, and it simply says Sacramento. And I'll read this from De'Aaron's Instagram just a couple minutes ago. I can't quite find the words to express what I want to say, but thank you. Coming in as a 19-year-old kid and leaving as a 27-year-old man, I'm grateful I got to spend the beginning of my young adulthood here. The love for the city is unmatched. To the fans, y'all deserve the best. I wanted to end my career here and never expected it would end this way, but I'll always be grateful for your support. Thank you for the love you've shown me and my family. Sacramento will always hold a special place in my heart. Everyone except Russ. I know, it's weird.
That was a
Russ
weird.
Yeah,
well, there you go, Russ. You got a shout
out. Good job, Russ. And then he signed it, De'Aaron Fox. Well, I guess it just comes down to, do you choose to believe that paragraph? I wanted to end my career here and never expected it would end this way.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Jason, you put this together?
Yeah, just some moments. That's called by the incomparable G-Man.
De'Aaron Fox, the second longest tenured Sacramento King of all time, is on his way to the Spurs. Dwayne, Jose, Paul, I see you on the phone lines. We'll get to you. Here's some memories of De'Aaron Fox with your Sacramento Kings.
Nene takes it to the rim, misses at point-blank range, and Costa Koufis is there for the rebound. Gives to Fox. Fox quickly across the midcourt line. Accelerates down the left. Moves to the right. He scores a great drive down the left side of the lane. And the Kings fans, many of them, just popped right out of their seats at the explosiveness of the rookie. Screen from Fox. Bogey rolls right. He's straight away. Now he drives right. He plants. Tough two ball on the way. It's no good. Stick back. De'Aaron Fox came over the top. And he powered it down. The Kings have taken the lead with 3.3 seconds to go at 89-88. The rookie climbing the ladder. I mean, he exploded like he was on a trampoline, and he was way above the iron as he steered down the missed shot.
Little in the corner. Three's on the way to beat the buzzer. No good. Rebounded by Fox, and there's the triple-double. The first of his career. How about that? 2 points in the first quarter, 5 in the second, 21 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Just got his 10th rebound to also go with 14 assists.
He's squeezed in the corner, and the Kings turn it over. Two-hand flush thrown down by Chuma Okeke, and a ball that skipped off their hands on the inbounds. Fox comes up the floor, 2 seconds. Here's a 35-footer for the win. He's got the bucket in an unbelievable finish in overtime. De'Aaron Fox from well over 30 feet straight away after the Kings had turned it over on a two-man squeeze in the corner. Okeke took the ball to the rim for the flush to tie the score. And then De'Aaron Fox, no timeouts available. And Fox in his return to action hits a game-winning, buzzer-beating three.
So, Kings don't take a timeout. We're tied at 1:15. 12 seconds to go. Fox walks the dribble across the logo. You know it's going to be Fox or Sabonis. Herter in the left corner. Fox in the perimeter. 4 seconds to go. Gotta go. Drives. Scoops. Scores! 0.4 of a second remaining. De'Aaron Fox with 22 in the quarter has given the Kings the lead.
114. Kings out of timeouts. They use their last one for the challenge. Fox advances the dribble across the logo. 5 seconds to go. It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple. 0.7 of a second remaining. The three-point shot will be reviewed. It's not over yet, but fourth quarter Fox has come through one more time. Here comes Munkback with a drive and a kick. Out to Fox on the right wing for three. He's got another one. Back and forth we go. What a playoff ball game this is. Sacramento leads at 115, 114. 3:40 to go. Looney offensive rebound. Second chance out to Curry. Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. Kings lead by 3. Fox now gets elbowed by McDaniels. Sabonis levels him with a screen. Fox, 3! Nails the triple. A career high. 46 points for De'Aaron Fox. Kings within 1 at 100. To 99. Here's Fox. Pull up. Add 2 more to the tally for Fox just above the free throw line. He has 52 points, which is the third best scoring effort in Sacramento Kings history by a Kings player. Fox wearing the familiar number 5, creeping forward on the right wing. Crosses to the right, steps back, launches the 3. He's got the triple. De'Aaron Fox has become the greatest scorer in Sacramento Kings history. He has 57 points in the Kings lead, 118-115. Keegan Murray near sideline puts the ball in play to Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis dribble handoff to Fox. Drives it to the left elbow, retreats to three-point range. Anthony Edwards stalking him. De'Aaron's down to 4. Fires for 3. He's got a 60-point ball game. It's the most points any player has scored this season in the NBA. It's 126-126 as Fox delivers.
There's one person on the chat that said thank you for this, and thank you for not playing Sarah McLachlan.
I will remember you. Yeah, no.
I just so you know, I kind of wanted to, but yeah. Well done, Jason. Just a very quick and very poignant look back on De'Aaron Fox's.
He did a lot of things.
He sure did a lot of
Yeah.
things. And good luck to him sort of in San Antonio.
Yeah. And now it's on to the next. I mean, now they'll literally be the comparisons to see what they do as a franchise, what the Kings do. And look, they are getting a good player coming back in Zach LaVine. People can debate whether they got the, better. That's fine. But I mean, Zach LaVine can play. He can shoot. He could do some things. This team wasn't doing well enough, but it also is like, what else is going to happen here in the next couple of days?
About 4 years ago, my then 19-year-old nephew went into the Coast Guard, and he bought himself a motorcycle with the permission of his. He was into the whole like Top Gun, aviators. I'm in the military. I want to put on the leather jacket. I want to ride the motorcycle. And I remember having a conversation with my brother and saying, dude, just please don't. Like, my dad rode bikes. He always said, you'll be the best driver in the world. You're going to lose every accident. Just unnecessary risk. And I remember thinking to myself, this is one of those arguments or debates I'm having with him where I don't want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And if I am, God forbid, right, I sure as hell am not going to say I told you so.
Right.
And I kind of feel in a weird way very similar about this. Like, I don't know if the Spurs are going to win titles. I think they are. But I think De'Aaron Fox is going to do really, really well with the Spurs. And I think we're going to have to watch a lot of De'Aaron Foxing with the San Antonio Spurs and go, what if? I'm not going to be the guy saying I told you so every other day because it doesn't serve anyone. It sucks. I hate that. And I hate people who do that, by the way. But just prepare yourselves. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I don't hope that De'Aaron goes there and sucks. I mean, I want him to have a good career, but man, I hope I'm wrong. But the only thing worse than trading the guy, if you feel a certain way now, is going to be next year, the year after, makes the All-Star team. You're seeing him late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing him, remember that feeling you had with Tyrese Halliburton when he was the darling of the NBA for about 6 months? Get ready for that.
Yeah.
And get ready for that feeling and get ready to cope with it. Because that's not a good feeling, man.
Yeah, I'd always said, look, I said clearly I would not have traded Fox. I did not want them to trade Fox. But if you went down that road, yes, I know his preferred destination was San Antonio. I'm like, trade him to the East. Let him get to San Antonio another way, not from you.
Right.
But you have done it. And okay, now what? So you get Zach LaVine. You've moved off of Herter. You don't have McLaughlin. There's literally 2 spots to add. And you wait and see, again, back to the desire to keep this team from a full rebuild was seemingly the plan. Stay as competitive and playoff challenging this year. While making this move is what they tried to do.
We're going to do all phone calls in the next segments. In the meantime, Jason, you did your thing. I hope you don't mind. I also did something.
Okay.
Because we're forgetting as we go to break here. It wasn't just De'Aaron Fox traded.
Yep.
It was also Kevin Herter. I have put together my own collage of Kevin Herter's memories. Not all of them, but a collage of Kevin Herter as we say goodbye to our friend Red Velvet and his time with the Sacramento Kings.
Keegan Murray now at the top of the foul circle has picked up the dribble. Finds Sabonis on the left wing. Sabonis now backs in on Harrison Barnes. Doubled by Wembanyama as he put it on the floor. Looks backdoor, finds Herter on a backdoor cut. He gets the quick reverse. Nice find there against the double team by Domantas Sabonis. And the bucket by Herter makes it a 7-4 Spurs lead.
Good luck in Chicago, buddy.
Really?
What?
That's our guy.
That is our guy. I love him. And I want to make sure to talk about. I'm just saying I didn't have a lot of time to put anything together.
You couldn't have found the Jazz game winner.
Oh, good idea.
We'll find
that. Was amazing.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, we will talk about our guy Red Velvet who spent a year with us. And if there's anything, is
that going to get us to 17?
If there's anything I hope that comes from this trade, honestly, other than like the good things for the Kings, I hope he finds his way in Chicago.
Yeah,
I do believe that deep down there's a great player in there. And I don't care how you feel about him as a player, just a stud of a human being.
Yeah, he has a return here too coming up this year.
Yes, he does. Yeah. And I will be the first guy.
And you're going to play him that. I've got this on my phone. Listen to this.
What? Look, okay, fine. You know what, Jason? I mean, we got a break here, but fine.
There's a pass out on top to Barnes for the Spurs. Gives to Castle on the left wing in 3-point range. Drives it, drops a pass in the pocket. Passes headed out on the wing and stolen by Kevin Herter.
What about that?
Okay.
Better?
There's more. Sure.
A lot of energy there.
Mm-hmm.
Like with my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air, I want to remind you right now, you did not like that. You did not like that call. You called me on the carpet for that.
You need to get your energy going.
$49 tune-up right now. Do you have the music or no? If you don't, that's fine. Oh, he does have the music. Okay. Hey, American Energy Heating and Air right now with, yes, I said it, they're $49 tune-up, $119 normally. Now just $49. And if your furnace is 5 years or older, Yeah, it's free. Free, as Alan would say. It's free. And if you need something repaired with your furnace, $50 off your first repair. And if you need a new furnace, I hope you don't, but if you do, half off. Half off. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been around since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy. Made to the uncomfortable, comfortable. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got a lot more on De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine, and all of that. Also, Chuck Swirsky joining us in half an hour, play-by-play voice for the Chicago Bulls. Tell us all kinds of good stuff about Zach LaVine and more. When we come back, though, your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. If you call right now, I promise you'll get in this segment. And if we have time, we'll talk about the Mavs and Lakers and how the Lakers just keep getting gifted generational superstars. We'll do that next.
Monday Mayhem is back.
Today, we are giving away tickets to go watch the Sacramento Kings take on the Orlando Magic at the G1C.
Every single hour, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. all day today.
Listen 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with our live and local lineup
for a chance to win every hour at the top of the hour on the home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531. It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale, and that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Discover unbeatable value at Folsom Buick GMC this President's Day. Drive with assurance and our 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty. Enjoy $10,000 off all 2024 Hummer EVs, plus 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers. Lease the 2025 Hummer EV for just $818 per month. These offers end March 3rd, 2025. Visit Folsom Buick GMC today, your EV headquarters for power, performance, and savings. Select units and check dealer for details.
Hey, Ma, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Paul at 1-800-920-1140. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Dave. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Jason, how are you doing?
Good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Paul, how are you doing?
I'm heartbroken.
You good? We're all good? Okay.
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. I'm just frustrated because we've seen, we got Monty and crew a couple years ago, and that felt like it was supposed to be stability and change everything for us. But what I'm really calling about is I just have a question about the trade. Do we have the ability now to make a trade, another one now, or do we have to wait for things to finalize? What's going on with that?
Well, everybody, I mean, the logistics are everybody has to pass their physicals for this thing to be official. And you have, I think we counted earlier, 7 players involved in the deal beyond the picks, which obviously don't have to pass physicals. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 have to pass physicals. Now, as Jason pointed out earlier, De'Aaron Fox probably won't pass his physical because of his finger issue, but obviously that's something that'll be waived. It's not like it's going to hold any of this up unless, God forbid, I'm just saying, like if De'Aaron or Zach had some degenerative knee condition they uncover at the last minute. That ain't going to happen. So to your point, for all intents and purposes, yes, they are. They have the ability to make trades now. And on top of that, as we pointed out at length earlier, they have 5 trade exceptions. They are $10.5 million below the tax. They're $14.5 million below the first apron. And they now have, with the Herter pick to Atlanta being encumbered with that Charlotte pick, even though that will keep up with me here, conveyed in 2 seconds next year, almost certainly. They now have a 2025 first rounder that they can trade. So the Kings are completely open to be able to do more moves. And with those 2 roster spots open, we fully expect them to make more moves before the deadline.
Okay. Well, I hope so. We've been sitting still for way too long. That's why we're in this now. So
couldn't agree with you more. Thank you. And let's be fair here, by the way. Jason, you found this.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We were talking about Kevin Herter. I was having some fun. And I texted him for us during the break.
Oh, good.
Because listen, we joke and we have fun and all that, but Kevin Herter is just such a stud of a human being. And ever since that 3-point contest, it seems like he just fell off. I hope this is the start of something great for him. I hope he's able to get back on track. He's still young enough. There's obviously talent there. I hope he goes to Chicago and just kills it. That's a guy that I actually hope does better when he leaves.
Yeah. His confidence was shaken here at the end. It was clear.
Completely shaken. And I would say this was easily his best moment as a Sacramento King.
Fox into the front court, into the paint, pulls up, trying to tie it, around, a 2-bouncer, no good. Kept alive by the Kings, back to Fox, floater, way short, no good. Rebound, grabbed by Harrison Barnes, swings to Herter, 3 on the way. He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead, 30 points, a season high for Herter, and it's 9.2 seconds to go in the ball game. It's also a career high for Kevin Herter. His previous best came when he was playing for Atlanta in the 2019 campaign at Philly when he had 29.
He wasn't afraid of 30 that night.
Nope.
As we used to joke. That's one of the very few times I will say, no offense, by the way, to Gary Gerald, who did an amazing call. I prefer the TV version because of the way the mics were set up. The TV version, you guys all know,
just sound like an explosion.
It sounded like a bomb of fans went off in the building that shook. You could see the cameras shaking. That's I think either that and or the Bogdanovich Lakers shot. Those are the biggest pops I think we've seen at Golden One Center. God, and I think even better because that pop came in a regular season game against the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how great these fans are and how amazing this fan base is. Anthony, welcome in. You're on with Jason and Dave.
Hey, Jason, Dave, what's going on? Dave, Coach Cavalli here from Twitter. Nice to talk to you again, my man.
Hey!
Calling up from Redding, California, lifelong Sacramento Kings fan. This Fox trade to me, it hurts because it's my son's favorite player. He's only grown up watching De'Aaron be the main guy and whatnot. But getting a 24-point scorer for a guy who more than likely was going to be out after next year, Kind of seems like the whole San Antonio thing was going to be set up. It was going to happen at one point. You've now got the ammunition to go out there and better your roster. Are you going to replace De'Aaron Fox with one guy? No, but now you have the opportunity to replace him with multiple pieces, as I believe that they're still going to make some trades getting this ammunition that they did from LaVine. But I think LaVine's going to work really well in their system. He's a great guy at getting downhill and being physical at the rim, where I know Fox can get downhill as well, but he's more of an acrobatic finisher at the rim. He's not as strong as LaVine because he's not as big and as strong. So I think the fit with LaVine is going to be great with Sabonis. Him and Monk are going to be high-flying, so I think Sacramento fans are going to see some exciting basketball. Is that going to translate to wins? I can't give that answer, but the last 8 years with De'Aaron Fox playing hasn't really translated to many wins as well that matter. So I'm actually looking forward to the LaVine future. I think the Kings are going to be a better overall basketball team if, and this is a huge if, they go and use some of this ammunition that they just got in the trade today. Carmichael Dave, you're the best. Jason, you're awesome. Love the show. Have a great day. Go Kings.
Thank you, Coach.
Go. I think that's the whole key right there.
Rankings.
Yeah.
It was like, I was the best.
Yeah. I'll take awesome.
You're awesome.
I'll take that.
Awesome could be better than best, though. I feel like they're fairly equal.
Hey, we're 18th for a reason. And proud of it. Yeah. The whole key is the rest. The rest of the like with Fox. Let's say they didn't make this move.
Yes.
We all knew whatever else they did was going to be important this year and going forward. They have made the move. Yes. Whatever else they do, LaVine will be very important, but so are the other moves that need to be made.
And I think it's important that there's multiple conversations to be had here. There's the how did the Kings do, considering that they had to do something, but we also, and again, I keep pushing this, have to have the conversation of how did they get here and why did they have to do. Right. Those are completely separate conversations, and I think separate grades to hand out as well. Jason,
is it time?
I think it's time.
Oh, my goodness.
1-800-920-1140. It's Monday Mayhem every hour all the way up till 6 p. We've got a pair of tickets for you to go see the likely debut of Zach LaVine at Golden One Center against the Orlando Magic. First game back from the road trip. That place is going to be loud. 1-800-920-1140 is the phone number for you to call. Why am I tripping? What was Kevin Herter's number? Do you remember?
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I just blanked too.
Kevin, I should know this.
9.
Thank you. We'll take caller number 9. 1-800. Well done. 920-1140. When we come back, who's hot? Who's not? We'll do a little recap. Plus a 3 in the key for Kings and Timberwolves. We got to remember there's still actually stuff going on right now. And Chuck Swirsky at the top of the hour. We're right back after this.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news. De'Aaron Fox has reportedly been traded to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team deal that lands Sacramento Zach LaVine and 3 first-round picks. Stay up to date on SacktownSports.com at 11:40 a.m.
With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
Happy New Grill. Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat as we did on Christmas Eve. Bring out all the flavors of the new year with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you Happy New Year. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot? We have a special edition here with our friend Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony's got it.
And for Christopher Laud, who is, air quotes, sick today. He's sad about De'Aaron.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Anthony, who's hot?
The team that is hot is the Los Angeles Lakers. They acquired Luka Doncic in the first trade in NBA history between two All-NBA first-team players.
Wow. And for Anthony Davis and whatever.
Yeah. Boo.
By the way, already, maybe the best who's hot, who's not we've ever had. I'm not trying to insult Chris. Just saying this guy's pretty good. Who's not?
Who's not?
Yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks. They traded Luka Doncic, only one of three players in NBA history with 5 All-NBA first-team selections before the age of 26. The only others, Tim Duncan and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, we're going to break that down more later this week. We're obviously going to spend a lot more time on the De'Aaron thing, but I just don't get that, dude. And when you look at the fact that Dallas 3 years ago, had Kristaps Porzingis, Luka Doncic, and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
They're all three now on different teams. They went to the finals last year.
Yeah. They're a weird team. Remember the year before they traded for Kyrie, and it was like, oh my goodness, and they were 5th. They fell out of the top 10. And then last year they regroup and they make it to the finals. And now they trade Luka.
It weirdly has made the Fox thing a little easier, because if I was a Dallas, if I was a Dallas
funeral yesterday,
they brought a casket. They had protests outside. I'd have been helping lead those, dude. Like, that's ridiculous. Also, I did think, though, like, obviously Dallas didn't talk to anybody else but the Lakers. They said that, but like, what if the Kings had offered up that package for Luka? Luka came here.
What was the like?
I don't know. What if the Kings had offered up De'Aaron Fox and stuff for Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
What would we be saying right now? That would be weird.
I think everybody goes, what's wrong with Luka? What do they know? But instead, everyone's like, the Lakers did it again.
Luka just shows up. He's 400 pounds, like just double fist and Jack and Cokes. It's like, I'm in Sacramento now.
And I brought Marvin Bagley with me. It's like, wait, what?
All right, let's get the John Tesh out, if you would. Let's recap. First and foremost, 3 in the key, Kings and Thunder.
Do we have to? That game stunk.
Yeah, that game.
Here we go.
As the kids say, that game was whack.
We asked for De'Aaron versus SGA points. Davey said 20 for De'Aaron, 38 for SGA. I said 23 De'Aaron, 44 SGA. Chris said 22 De'Aaron, 37 SGA. I wrote down Russell's because he contributed. He said De'Aaron 22, SGA 40. Correct answer was 20 for De'Aaron. Hey, they held SGA to 29.
Hey.
I mean,
unfortunately, they didn't hold other guy to 29.
Wiggins to 40, 100.
Dude, honest to God, when I first, I looked at the box score at the end. And like, even though I knew it wasn't, like my brain immediately was like, what did they get, Andrew? Whoa, different.
Yeah, different Wiggins. Then we said Kings largest lead, OKC's largest lead. Davey said 4 for the Kings, 21 OKC. I said 6 Kings, 15 OKC. Chris said 8 Kings, 18 OKC. Russell did say 7 and 24. Correct answer was 5 for the Kings. 37. 37 for the Thunder. Lastly, Dave, your random stat. Doug Christie would get his first technical. That did not happen. I said DeRozan was going to get his technical. Sorry, I said De'Aaron was going to get a technical.
DeRozan?
DeRozan did get a technical. And Chris said Keegan would have a double-double. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds.
Hey.
So let's just flush that game.
I don't like it.
There is a game tonight, though.
Is there?
You want to do a 3 in the key for tonight?
I think that's where we reset the John Tesh music
and
play it all over again. Da, 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 da.
All right, me, you, and Anthony, let's go. Look, De'Aaron Fox is the leading scorer in this team, so who will be the leading Kings scorer tonight?
Give me Malik Monk with 26.
Monk, 26. I'm going to go DeRozan, 28. Anthony, what do you got?
Let's get Sabonis. I hope he takes more shots now that there's a little bit more room. Sabonis leading scorer.
How many?
Let's,
11.
Yeah, let's do 30.
Woo! Anthony, are you originally from California?
I am from Placer County.
Where did you have him?
From here.
He's got a good radio voice, but there is a tone to it that I'm getting. Okay, do you remember Beavis and Butthead?
Of course.
Okay, remember the guy, the Mr. Anderson's Tool Shed guy? Like, if he had a son,
okay,
where he's like, "Hey, Beavis and Butthead," he ended up being what was the cartoon? He had his own where he sold propane. Hank Hill, King of the Hill. Yeah. It's like son of it. There's a little bit of, and I detected a slight, not an accent, but a tone. It's very pleasing to the ear.
I've heard the same thing in chat. The first time I did a game night, someone said that Hank Hill was on.
There's a little Hank Hill to his voice. Okay, I'm glad that's backed up. Next up, Jason.
All right, we're going to ask who is going to score the last Kings point today. That's fourth quarter Fox, but he's gone. So who's the last?
I can tell you it will not be De'Aaron Fox.
That will not be Herter.
Won't be Herter.
Won't be McLaughlin.
No, because it will be. You know what? I'm doubling up. It'll be Malik Monk.
Okay, that's interesting because I have Malik Monk as well.
Hey.
Anthony?
Keon Ellis.
Okay.
Let's get more threes from Keon. I want clutch Keon, everyone.
Let's do it. And then random stats, something you're predicting, something you just calling a shot for today.
My random stat is that Anthony Edwards will go for 40. I think he's going to have a really good night tonight.
40 or more. I have Keegan going for 25 or more.
All right. I like that you guys went with technicals last week. I actually want to see Doug get a technical.
DC first tee.
Love a good head coach.
Angry Doug. There you go. There's 3 in the key.
What if that trade and actually was what it was De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis for Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle? Would you have been mad?
Gosh, I don't know. I would have wondered, like, wait, what's happening?
What if it was De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray for Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle?
Really intrigued.
Trying to think. I don't think Minnesota would have gotten off Anthony Edwards is my point. So that's why I'm kind of lopsiding it towards. Yet till he asks out, inevitably.
I mean, once Luka's traded, it's like Giannis is like, man, I thought I'm good, right?
Right.
Victor's like, I think I'm good. You're building around me, right?
Right. Like, honestly, I'm going to have a really hard time making fun of people's trade machine stuffs on Twitter.
I know. When callers, for the history of callers, would call and suggest a trade, I'm like, come on, who says no? The other team.
Imagine if like somebody called in and was like, hey, I'm Ben. I'm a big Laker fan here locally. Yeah, I know. But let me ask you this. Do you think what if the Lakers offered Anthony Davis and did it for Luka Doncic? Who said, like, we would have hung up on that person and then spent the next half hour making fun of Laker fans?
I know on the timeline since it happened on Saturday night before the Kings trade, I hope Monty and crew just kind of went, hey, we're talking here. What, Victor? Like, what? What would it take?
You said Castle's untouchable.
Yeah, but Victor on the other hand.
Because honestly, I'm just going to say, if it was Fox for Wembanyama, and obviously San Antonio would have to throw in more for salary, I would have been okay with throwing in at least another first-round pick. That's just me. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Well, that's the other part about this trade. Like, obviously, we're going to keep our eye on what De'Aaron does because we've been invested in De'Aaron. You see firsthand what LaVine will do for you. But those guys that, whether or not it was seriously involved or not, but Castle, Vassell, I don't know, Keldon Johnson,
couldn't even get Keldon Johnson in the deal. I don't know why that.
But maybe, I mean, that's, when we have to get to Monty, it's like,
what, was he untouchable too?
No, maybe there was not a desire for. Maybe it was more. But I don't know. I'm trying to do my best guess. It was like, look, they wanted a player ready to go now. Not that those guys weren't ready, but LaVine's a heck of a player. But it's just, it still feels like the Spurs didn't give up that much.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Which they'll break that up.
We
at some
couldn't
point.
even get our pick swap.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, as just a
that
matter,
bothers you the most.
It honestly bothers me the most. How do we not get our 2031 pick? That should have just been like, oh, and by the way, gonna need that pick swap back.
Yeah.
And San Antonio's like, nope, here's what you'll get, and you'll like it. Or we'll just hold off and just get him for nothing. Neener.
Yeah.
I bet you that's how he signed every single trade and text that when they're negotiating via text. Big neener at the bottom. That's how the Spurs GM signed it.
How do you spell that?
What?
How do you spell that?
NWENER. Or it could have been a Neener X2.
Make you think.
Neener squared.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh. Now I get it.
By the way, 3, 2, 1. But how early will it be when we're just like playing a random highlight? How long do you think it takes for us to get our first? Dude, he's in San Antonio. We don't care. Text about De'Aaron. Move on. Yeah. Oh, he had 64 in his debut. He's gone. How long is that going to be the new dude? We drafted Bagley.
I don't know because there'll be a game this season where he'll be great, right? And people are like, see what De'Aaron did last night? Yeah, I did. Dude,
what if he comes in here and lays like 50 on the Kings at Golden One Center? It's all going to be like
LaVine has 51 and the game winner.
From Mustache Spider on the text line. Dude, he's in San Antonio. Move on. We don't care. We already got it.
I know. It has been, already about 12 hours.
It has been. We'll take a break. When we come back, Chuck Swirsky, Bulls radio play-by-play. We're going to hear some good stuff here about Zach LaVine. Can guarantee you that. Although it would be hilarious if Chuck was like, thank God. Get ready. Chuck's going to come on and he'll break down Zach LaVine's game for us next.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news. De'Aaron Fox has reportedly been traded to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-team deal that lands Sacramento Zach LaVine and 3 first-round picks. Stay up to date on SacktownSports.com at 11:40 a.m.
Your life, your goals, your legacy. With a dedicated Fidelity advisor, it's all part of a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This 49er injury report is brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. After an injury-plagued 2024 season, which ended 6-11 and out of the playoffs, the 49ers will focus on getting healthy in the offseason. Running backs Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, and Isaac Guerrero all suffered season-ending injuries. Left tackle Trent Williams' ankle kept him out late in the year, and Brock Purdy missed the season finale with a hurt elbow. 49ers hope to enter 2025 with a full roster back intact.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
You ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Get right to it. Play-by-play voice for the Chicago Bulls. Great guy. Always love having him on. And this is a different reason for having him on as we welcome Zach LaVine to Sacramento. We say goodbye to De'Aaron Fox. Chuck, it's Dave. It's Jason. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Well, simple question I'll ask you. You've watched him play a lot. What are the Kings getting with Zach LaVine?
They are number one, and I hope you save this clip and replay it when you have Zach on your show. Number one, he is a total professional. I repeat, a total professional. He is a wonderful human being, great family man, really good with the media, never hides, never ducks, answers all the questions, everything you want in a pro athlete. And, oh, by the way, he was having and is having an exceptional season. And had the ball club won, I think he would have been an all-star without any doubt.
Yeah, this year. I mean, heck, Kings fans saw it this year when the Kings went to Chicago. LaVine almost won the game by himself. He actually, Chuck, I think January was he was on fire that entire month. And you expect him to be able to do a lot of those same types of things that he was doing for you guys with the Sacramento Kings?
Well, I mean, that remains to be seen. Every roster is different, every player is and every scheme and whatnot. But I can tell you what they're getting, and they're getting a tremendous, fluid basketball player who, in my opinion, is an elite offensive player in many ways. He can beat you off the dribble. He can shoot threes. He gets to the foul line, and he is the total consummate as far as if you need a shot, he will get you a shot. He will take that corner three. He'll do the pull-up wing three. He'll get to the rim, and he can use both hands driving on different angles. So in other words, if the defensive player is covering him on the right angle and he does a crossover, he can finish protecting the ball with the left hand. I mean, it's just amazing how many times I've seen that play. And so, I mean, I wish him well. And he's reunited with DeMar DeRozan, and they're very close, and I think it's a good fit.
Well, that was my next question, Chuck. As Chuck Swirsky, play-by-play voice for the Bulls, joins us. That's something a lot of us have been wondering. DeMar DeRozan went on his Instagram, busted out the old reunited by Peaches and Herb with a picture of the two of them. He's obviously happy about it. But if you could just talk a little bit about them playing off each other. And I know there's a Sabonis and a Monk here, and it's a different type of team, but just a little bit of Zach LaVine and DeRozan and how they played together.
Well, number one, DeMar can get buckets. Zach can get buckets, so there's no problem there. And the fact that they respect each other, I think, speaks volumes about the type of attitude they bring to the floor. And, I mean, they check the ego at the door. They want to win. I mean, if you take a look at DeMar and Zach, they've been in the league now for a while, and they just want to get deep and go deep in the playoffs. And you know how I feel about DeMar. I love the man. I absolutely love him as a person, as I do with Zach. And so when it comes to winning basketball, they are winning players. And now they're in a system with a lot of really good players to really shine. And I'm expecting Zach to hit that beam.
Chuck, how about the other end of the floor defensively? The Kings at times have, for the better part of the last couple of years, really struggled on that end of the floor, though they've made some improvements. Where will he fall in as far as defensively on a night-to-night basis?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because I think his defense is much maligned. I think he competes and he gets after it. And, for whatever reason, players get tagged very early in their career. And I can't speak for what happened in Minnesota, but I can tell you what happened in Chicago. And we had coaching changes. We had a ton of players come in and out. But one thing was constant with Zach when he was healthy and when he was on the floor is that he brought his A game every night. And he didn't take games off. He wants to play, number one. And secondly, I think on the defensive side, he's so gifted athletically, he can guard people. Now, does that mean he's going to be all defensive first team? Probably not. But I will say this. I think he's a really good on-the-ball defender.
And Chuck, you've been around the game a long time. We look at numbers in a vacuum. People will, as you said, they get reputations. We deal with that with Sabonis here, where Sabonis has this reputation of being a pylon when it comes to defending. And this is a guy that got all defensive votes last year, and the numbers say differently. In Zach's case, you mentioned the reputation, but also I would imagine, guys that are on better defensive teams tend to have better defensive numbers. And I don't know that Zach has had that around him too much in his career.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's a very, very valid point. But you know what? This is a new chapter in his life. And now he gets to go to a team with some stars, big-time stars. And we're going to see, I think, a Zach LaVine who's really going to blossom with better players around him. And that's not to say there weren't good players here in Chicago, because there are really good players in Chicago. But, they're going through a new chapter and a phase with the franchise here. But if you look, when Lonzo Ball was healthy, and I really shouldn't be doing this because, in the NBA, you have to be fluid and things change on the fly, as we saw with Sacramento with Sabonis and Halliburton, and what's going on now currently with Fox moving on and the coaching change. I mean, this is the NBA. This is the NBA. So with the Bulls, they after Alonzo got hurt and he didn't play for 2.5 years, I think they were looking to, see if they could get over the hump and by acquiring different players and whatnot. And it was stagnant. And, the Bulls were placed in a position where probably no franchise wants to be, and that's in the middle. And so now with the Bulls in a major rebuild, and major probably is too harsh of a word, but they are in a rebuild. But I think, now it's the future for the Bulls, and they're going to try and, restock the cupboard with young players. And for Zach, he wants to win now. And there's no question he was the best player on this roster. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But you know what? Again, this is the NBA, and it happens, and you move on.
Chuck, without knowing what the rest of the next couple days will do deadline-wise for the Kings, just curious your perception as someone that's seen the Kings this year in person once. You guys still come out here, I think, next month. What do you think this will do for them? They're kind of hovering anywhere between, they've been 7th to 12th in the West. What do you think this move right now on its own will do for Sacramento?
Wow. Well, again, you're asking someone who has seen your team live once. I've seen, Sacramento on TV several times. And I'll say this. I don't know what happened and what went down with De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. I'm just Joe Bag of Donuts on the outside looking in. But I'll tell you what, I love De'Aaron Fox. And I think he is going to have a spectacular career if he signs that extension with San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio right now is building around Wemby, and then San Antonio wants to accelerate that because, as we know in the NBA, player empowerment is everything, and Wembanyama is going to be the face of this league for a good decade plus, unless Cooper Flagg comes in and has a dynamic first 3 or 4 years, and then we're going to see, the Cooper Flagg Wembanyama era in the NBA. But having said that, I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox fan. And again, I don't know all what transpired, and really, I'm out of my lane, but you asked the question, I'm giving you an answer. I love De'Aaron Fox.
One other thing for you, Chuck, we're all, Jason does play-by-play. We're huge fans of Gary Gerald here, the legend. And we often will talk about the formatics of doing play-by-play and how all that works. This has nothing to do with on-the-floor play, and, you got to win games. But as somebody who calls games, I imagine one of the things you're going to miss about Zach LaVine the most is that it could be any night, game 41, on the road, down 20, up 20, doesn't matter, and you might see something that's going to make you need a throat lozenge later out of Zach LaVine.
No doubt. You know what I'm going to miss? Zach attack to the rack. Or I'll tell you what I'm going to miss. When he would hit back-to-back 3 balls, I would say, back-to-back jacks for Zach.
And big onions.
I don't know. Maybe can G-Man maybe and Chuck get together and work out some sort of a trade as well? Maybe he throws in a couple first-rounders.
or when Zach would win a ball game, big-time onions, Zach LaVine. And there you go.
Yes.
So you can play all these clips for Zach when you get him on the air. He is a terrific person.
That's awesome.
Chuck, we appreciate it. We know you well enough to know you're a quality human being, and these are more than just NBA players for you.
Yes.
And G-Man's the same way out here, so we do recognize it, and we do look forward to getting Zach on because Chuck, we're definitely. Have you had a chance to say anything to him since?
No. We were. He was not with us for personal reasons, and his wife was having a baby, so he missed the Eastern trip for good reason, obviously. And but I'll say this: I have so much respect for Doug Christie. Doug is from Seattle. I'm from Seattle. Zach's from Seattle. And when I was doing the play-by-play for the Raptors, Doug Christie was playing for the Raptors. And so, he was great. It was my first year in the NBA, and he was fantastic to me. I have so much respect for Doug. I'm so happy for him. And I saw him in Chicago when the Kings came in. And, that Seattle connection, let me tell you what, that is a strong bond. And Zach and Doug Christie know one another. And I think that's going to really, really help the chemistry with that team.
We appreciate it. That's your play-by-play voice. And by the way, before you go, Chuck, let us try to do you a small thing in return here. Lost in all of this, and we were talking about it earlier, is the Bulls are acquiring Kevin Huerter. And I know I speak for Jason 100%. Mm-hmm. We had him on as our weekly guest season before last, and call him Red Velvet. He's got plenty of nicknames. I hope his career gets back on track. He got a little lost out here. There was a point where he was a phenomenal starter for us, tremendous shooting ability. But as you talk about Zach and the human he is, Kevin is one of our favorite people that have ever played for this organization. He's young, but he gets it. He's mature beyond his years. And I'm sure you've probably had a conversation with him before. You've been in the league long enough, but you're getting a real good individual out there in Chicago.
Well, that's great to see. And, I saw his stats, and, he had a really good season back, I believe, in 22, 23. So I'm hoping he can return to that form. And I mean, he's gonna be able to play some hoops here. I mean, they right now the Bulls are guard heavy, and it remains to be seen what they've got left before the trade deadline. Then, of course, in the off season, but he's going to be given every opportunity here. There's no doubt.
Looking forward to it. Chuck, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great rest of the season.
All right, fellas. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Take care. I love every time Chuck comes on. He's just, you can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know what else there would be in his life he'd be good at, but he's doing the thing he should be doing.
Yeah, he loves it, which is good.
We will take a break. Good to get that perspective on Zach LaVine. And when we come back, we'll continue on that. We focused and we'll continue to focus a ton on De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings' future. But also let's talk a little bit about Zach LaVine and what the Kings are getting with him, who he is, what he's all about. And more, because there are two sides to this trade. It's not just what the Kings are giving up, it's what they're getting as well. Quick break here, just 1 minute. We're right back after this.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
.111-110. Sacramento leading by 1. 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Transition 3. Zach LaVine from downtown. He's got another 30-point ball game. It's his 6th consecutive game where he scored 30 or more. Chicago on top, 113-111.
Zach attack to the rack. Big time onions.
Back-to-back jacks from Zach.
I love that. I hadn't really, to be honest with you, I hadn't really thought about that whole Seattle connection.
Oh, yeah, I did. Because Doug has talked about Zach before. Chuck's right. That connection is like him, Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson. Like Doug knows all those guys. Isaiah Thomas. Just there's a special bond with those guys.
Zach LaVine will turn 30 in March.
Okay.
I think that's the one thing that stands out is, look, he is likely on the other. Not on the other side of his prime, but on the way. He's not at the peak. Right. He's got less prime ahead of him than behind him.
Might still be in it,
but yeah. Oh, I think he probably is for sure.
I mean, he's just coming off an incredible month.
Yep, 24 points on the year exactly. 24 points, a little under 5 boards, 4.5 assists. You're getting about a steal a game out of him. What really stands out: 51% from the field, 44.5% from beyond the arc on over 7 attempts. And just instantly, if we're talking good stuff, this opens up the point now for Malik Monk. It instantly improves your 3-point shooting. I mean, unless Zach comes here and gets whatever plague the Kings have,
right,
and his threes drop, it instantly improves their 3-point shooting. And let's be honest, they didn't get any less athletic.
No, he's a phenomenal athlete.
He ain't as fast as Fox per se, but let's put it this way. I mean, no offense to De'Aaron, that was never really his thing, but he's beating him in a slam dunk contest.
Sure.
We know that. He can still jump out of the gym. He can hit the three. And I am very excited to see he and Sabonis playing off of each other. I got to be honest.
Yeah, and to have that shooting percentage overall as a guy that does shoot threes and at a good clip, but his field goal percentage over 50%. DeMar's a really good shooter. Sabonis is phenomenal. So, I mean, their efficiency you would hope would improve. Now, there's certain things, one of the things where I was had my reservations about dealing Fox. I still am of the camp that, like, look, there's teams, especially when you get to a playoff series. We saw this when they played the Warriors. Like, the Warriors, I thought, did a great thing strategically. They said, look, we're going to try to cut everything off that we can from Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox went off. Like, Fox can get his own shots. Fox can do some great things, and I think he's really thrived in some of these big moments. So now some of that stuff will come into play. But look, DeRozan has done that before. Will some of it look a little bit differently? Maybe. Naturally, I think it should. But like we always say, it's going to take a little bit of time for this to develop. And unfortunately, when you do a trade in season, it's just kind of, hey, go. I mean, you just have to go and play.
Go and let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll get a little time at the All-Star break, but that's about it.
I know that it's about us and we don't care what other people do, but I thought this was a pretty good crystallization of what it could be. On one hand, the Nets, now that you look at everything involved, not just what they got initially, but what they moved those players for, the Nets, directly as a result of trading Kevin Durant, received Cam Johnson, Zaire Williams, Phoenix's 2023 and 2025 and 2027 firsts, New York's 2025 first, Milwaukee's 2025 first, the Knicks' 27 first, pick swaps from the Suns, the Knicks, the Suns, the Knicks, and the Knicks, all 28 through 31, a 2025 Brooklyn second, a 28 Milwaukee second, a 29 Milwaukee second, and a 2030 Dallas second.
Yeah, not a lot of that's obviously from Durant, but part of that's from
Mikal Bridges,
yeah,
and the whole thing, and making those moves. The Mavericks got Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 29 LA first.
Yeah, I actually think. Well, no, I think what they got in return for right now, I think they're gonna be okay.
Dallas,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, but
and by the way, Max Christie's, look, I'm not trying to say Max Christie's an all-world player.
Right.
Say Max Christie's being talked about like he's some ding-dong throw-in G-leaguer, and he's not. Max Christie actually has some game.
Yeah, but now, like, talk about, okay, who's calling Dallas for Gafford, Lively, like that? Now they've got a surplus, PJ. Like, they're big. They're big up front. They still have Clay. They still have Kyrie. That's a good team.
Yeah.
And then, but the Lakers, obviously everybody is blown away at what they received in Luka. I wonder, I don't know how much longer LeBron has, but in the short term, those two. But after that, like, it's Luka. It's a great foundation. It's Luka, but they got to do some other stuff.
And don't ever say between Ray Allen and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and Kyrie Irving and now and Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic,
Kevin Love,
LeBron. Don't ever say LeBron didn't have help. Yeah, by the way, is this the best player he's ever played with? Also, isn't Luka Doncic kind of like a modern day? Isn't he just kind of LeBron? I'm not saying their games are exact, but the way they just kind of do everything.
Control the game, yeah. Again, in a different way.
Yeah.
In his way.
1-800-920-1140. Adam, good morning. You're on with Jason and Dave.
Hey, happy Monday, guys.
You too.
So I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on for a second regarding this Lakers-Mavs trade, okay?
Let's go. Put that hat on, dude. Beautiful minded.
Okay, so we have the ratings problem in the NBA, right? Silver's talked about that. So obviously, one of the top 5 players in the game, possibly a top 10 player of all time in Luka, going to the biggest market in the NBA is definitely going to be a ratings boost.
Yeah.
Second, we have the Mavericks, who are under new ownership. Cuban sold his stake, so he has no longer any say in the trades or anything like that. The new GM, close friends with LeBron. And the NBA has talked about expanding into Vegas in recent years. What better way to move a franchise than to trade away their generational player for, no disrespect to Anthony Davis. He's a phenomenal player still, but in the grand scheme of things, next to nothing. Your fan base revolts. They stop buying tickets. They stop buying merchandise. And then in 2 to 3 years, when they're going to expand again, they can go to the NBA and be like, look, no one wants to come to our games anymore. We'd be much better in Vegas. What do you think?
Okay. First off, I'm just going to ask, honestly, what kind of strain are you smoking? And just for a friend, I just want to know, is it indica?
Dave, I'm into the classics. Blue Dream is my
Okay. No. That's a phenomenal answer. All right. Look, I'm always a fan, so let's not make fun. Let's look at the logistics. All right. The number one thing I always ask is, how is everybody going to keep that a secret? If it was ever found out that there was any sort of collusion that happened, any way, shape, or form that was anything close to that,
they kept the trade a secret.
They kept.
Good point.
Well, before the trade happened, they did. I'm saying from now on, you got it. That's a lot of secreting you got to keep. That's number one.
I don't know. Keeping one of the top 5 players from not knowing about a trade seems pretty secretive.
Right, but that's before. I'm talking about afterwards. Everybody knows.
Well,
all right.
They did it before. They can do it again.
You got me. You got me on that one. Let's move to this. Dallas isn't exactly OKC. Dallas is a massive market. Why would they want to pull a team out of Dallas and put it in Vegas? Because
you already have 2 teams in Texas.
Right, but they have 3 teams in Texas. But why would you forego the $6 billion expansion fee you're going to get in Vegas?
Say that again now.
Why would you forego the $6 billion expansion fee you're already set to get in Vegas?
Well, that's some business stuff that I'm not too keen on there, Dave. So
I got you.
Come on.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna talk about this a lot during the break too, Adam. I appreciate it.
I like that. Anthony Davis, he's next to nothing.
Next to nothing. God bless you, Adam. We'll take a break when we come back. More on the Fox trade. And we'll get your phone calls at 1-800-912-1140. Frank, I see you. Look, if you hold through the next couple of minutes, we'll get to you first up. And if more you want to sound off, please go ahead and do so as well. It's Carmichael Dave. It's Jason Ross, Anthony behind the glass in for Christopher Law. We're right back after this.
Monday Mayhem is back.
Today, we're giving away tickets to go watch the Sacramento Kings take on the Orlando Magic at the G1C.
Every single hour, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. all day today.
Listen 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with our live and local lineup
for a chance to win every hour at the top of the hour on the home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, getting out the door to a mild start to the day with cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower for the morning drive. Aside from that, most of your daylight hours will be dry. Next round of steady, heavy rain arrives after the sun goes down tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
There's only one place where you'll find thousands of top brand vehicles, 17 dealers, and a friendly staff. Find the perfect ride tailored to fit your budget. Dream big and save even more during the President's Day sale at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, Sacramento, it's time to party. Join us for the ultimate big game watch party at Mix Downtown, hosted by Sacktown Sports on Sunday, February 9th. Feast on Mix's all-you-can-eat taco and nacho bar and big game bites while watching the biggest football game of the year. Catch all the action on Mix's large projection screens and HD TVs. Doors open at 2 p.m. Kickoff is at 3. Mix Downtown, located at 16th and L Streets in Sacramento. It's 21 and over, so bring your crew and let's make it a game day to remember. For details, visit mixdowntown.net.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley's support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
Good, Frank. How are you?
I'm cool, man. Hey, I know everybody's in love with Fox, but I'm going to tell you, okay? He's not a superstar, all right? He's probably a 1B. The league told you what they thought about him when the Kings wanted to trade for him. But he's a poor shooter. Nobody wants to give him the max. And another thing about Fox, he doesn't make his teammates better.
Well, how do you quantify?
Who do you make better on the Kings?
Well, who did he make worse? I mean, how do you quantify that? I'm just asking.
Monk made Sabonis better, and Sabonis made Monk better.
Well, Monk had a career year last year, so does that mean Fox made him better? Sabonis is playing better than he's ever played before in his career.
But Fox always looks for his shot first before passing the ball.
Frank, I'm not saying whether you're right or wrong. Hold on, Frank. Frank, hold on. Happy to have a conversation, Frank. You just can't, old man ramble on me for 2 hours.
All
right. Listen, what I'm saying is I'm not necessarily even arguing with you. What I'm saying is when people say he didn't make his teammates better, I'm going, well, if you're going to not give him, or if you're going to say he made him worse or didn't help, then when you have guys like Sabonis come in and play the best they've ever played in their career, when you have guys like Monk come in and play the best that they've ever played in their career. If I say to you, well, hold on, he made those guys better, I'm saying I can quantify that just as much as you can quantify that he didn't. I feel like that's a throwaway statement, all.
But I also guarantee you he's not winning a championship in San Antonio.
Would you bet your life on it?
Yeah, I would.
So, like, if he won a championship and that means that someone would come to your house and shoot you between the eyes, you would make that bet?
Yeah, I would, because he's not going to win one.
Wow.
For him to win a championship on San Antonio, he has to be the third or fourth best player on the team.
But what if he is? What if he is? He's already the second for sure. Wembanyama's the best.
Fox, I know, but Fox left Sacramento because of three things. His wife wanted to go back to San Antonio.
Allegedly.
Second, tax-free state.
Sure.
And third, he only cares about his money, his cheese, man. That's all he cares about. He's not even any friends on Instagram with any of his teammates or anything.
Okay, first off,
He's
we know?
my friend.
Do we? First off, how do we know that? Secondly, here's my question, Frank. How come you leave out that he wanted to stay here and he asked the team to make moves around him and they did? Do you think the Kings have been aggressive making moves to improve the team? I'm asking
but
you.
I don't think the Kings wanted to also pay him the Supermax or the $300 million.
That's a whole different argument. And by the way, and that's fair. Look, if they said, hey, he's not a Supermax guy, we're going to get what we need out of him now, whether you agree or disagree with that, that's a whole different conversation.
Well, just take a look at Dallas. They didn't want to give Luka the Supermax.
Yeah, Luka's 450 pounds.
Wow. Yeah, but they don't want to give him the Supermax. The only two guys so far that have gotten the Supermax have been Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
That's right.
I think next time they negotiate the contract in the NBA, they're going to drop that Supermax and try to lower it to about $40 to $50 million a year.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time the NBA negotiated a deal where they lowered salaries?
I'm just thinking, nobody wants to pay these guys $70 million a year.
They pay him, though.
Yeah, but you're cap strapping your team.
I don't disagree with you, but they're going to get paid. You think the Spurs aren't going to give De'Aaron Fox a max deal? I promise you they will.
He'll get $300 million. But
well, I don't know what the
he's
number
not eligible
is. Yeah,
for
he's not
Supermax unless he hits those numbers,
That's
and
right.
he didn't here. So
he'll get a max deal. He won't get a Supermax.
Hey, let me ask you this, Dave. Hey, Dave, how do you feel about Caleb Martin?
I feel fine about Caleb Martin. That's random. Why?
Because I hear the Kings are interested in him.
Hey,
bet your life on it.
Would you bet your life on that?
Come on, I'm not betting my life on
You bet your life that the Spurs will never win a title with Fox.
They're not going to win one, I'm telling you.
Okay, all right. Look, when we hit, I'm going to put you on hold. I want you to give Anthony your address because if they win one, I'm coming to see you.
Are you?
All right.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, we'll do however you want.
Are you threatening him?
I didn't say what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him a hug and protect him. I'm going to stand in front of him.
Hey, Dave, I got one thing to say to Fox.
Oh, God. Please remember we're on the radio and there's families listening.
Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, buddy.
Wow. People are saying RIP to Frank. That he's not going to make it based on betting his life.
I guarantee you, if the Spurs win a title in 5 years and we're still on the air, someone in that chat, probably Russ, is going to be like, "Where's Frank?
Yeah,
Frank's going to die." Jeez, I mean, that's one thing when you're sure. I gotta be sure. I'm gonna tell you right now. I can't promise this, but I'm pretty sure if Basketball Jesus visited Frank right now, was like, "I heard you call to Dave and Jason. You want to make that bet?" I think Frank would back off of that. That's a lot.
If Basketball Jesus showed up, I'm listening to whatever they're saying.
Same here. I'm not betting my life. No way. If somebody said, "Would you bet your life that?"
What if Basketball Jesus came down and said, "You're good. You're fine.
I mean,
stick with your bet."
That I'm betting everything I own against them. I'm telling you right now, take Jesus out of the equation. If somebody said, "Would you bet your life the Charlotte Hornets won't win a title?" I'm like, "Nope. No, I'm not betting my life against that." The only thing I would bet my life against is that we're going to make another stupid deal in like 2 years. I mean, that's probably accurate. I hope not. Hello, Jack.
Hi there.
Hi.
I can't tell you how frustrating it is to be a Kings fan, as you guys know.
Well, why don't you try, Jack?
I'll tell you, this is just we're an embarrassment. I mean, how do you not get more for De'Aaron Fox? And my question, for the most part, is I keep reading these things from all these Kings insiders saying the Kings are not done making deals before the February 6th deadline to improve the roster. So help me God, if we trade for Cam Johnson or even Kyle Kuzma after we didn't do that with Fox here for the last 2 years, how does Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox still have a job? They should not be welcome back in the city whatsoever. They're not good at what they do.
Okay, I hear. Hold on, because I hear you getting ramped up, and I'm all for that. Listen, I've been kind of on the same page with you. Let me just counter. Let's just have a conversation. I want to counter what you said. Now, your point is, and I think it's a very valid one, that if they, and I do believe, and Jason, you're the same, that they're not done, or at least this is set up for them to not be done. And the irony, of course, will be if they went out and got a Johnson or this or that, then you go, well, why did they do that when Fox was here? Here's the counter, though. What if they said, yeah, we hear you, but we just internally did not think with what we have in the backcourt, and we felt like he was replaceable enough to not justify a max salary, so we cut bait now in order to be able to improve the team with him gone, we think overall we'll have a better team. Then what do you and I say to that, Jack, if that's their logic?
Listen, I think Zach LaVine is a fine player. I think he's fine. But when you look at Zach, he's not a winning player. He's not going to ever be a top 2 player on a championship winning team. Now, if we deal him for someone else, that's fine. But I read earlier this season an ESPN writer saying he was basically untradeable because of this horrible contract, making $43 million and $49 million with the player option in 2026, 2027. So are we going to bank on like having just kind of a weird lineup with LaVine and Monk, and then like those are 2 shooting guards, not really a pure point guard in there? It doesn't make sense. I'd honestly rather just blow it up again. I mean, my God, for the life of me, I don't understand. First of all, how in the world did San Antonio not give up anything? Anything? How do we not get Castle? How do we not get Devin Vassell? How do we not get Keldon Johnson? I know you've been saying that today, so I know you understand as well. But it just doesn't make any sense to me how this trade went down. And I'll tell you this, Dave, you're going to disagree with me on this, but I've seen a bunch of Kings fans tweeting, all right, De'Aaron, your standing ovation is waiting for you. Standing ovation for what? A first-round exit in 8 years and then one play-in win before a play-in loss? I mean, I know our franchise is embarrassing and our expectations are so low, but he demanded his way out of here. And I know his wife keeps tweeting, we didn't request a trade. Well, I'm sure that he indicated through Rich Paul that he was not willing to sign a contract extension. So you might as well have requested a trade because we need to get value for you at the end of the day. So he should be booed out of the arena.
Let me ask you this. Jack, do you think it's unfair that he said he wouldn't sign a contract extension? Do you think that's unfair of him?
Well, I'll tell you.
No, I'm asking you. We're having a conversation. I'm asking you because I share a lot of your thoughts, but it's actually therapeutic for me right now to kind of, do you think it was unfair of him to say, I'm not signing an extension unless I'm confident in the direction this team's going? I've been here 7 years, and if I'm going to be here another 7, I want to make sure they're going in the right direction.
It wouldn't be unfair.
Okay.
But what I will say is, if he said that, if he said, hey, I'm not willing to sign a contract extension unless I see this team improving, then we have a year and a half to improve this roster. Monty and West should have been fired last offseason. They have not improved this roster whatsoever. I don't know if they were banking on Keegan making a huge leap offensively and he just hasn't done so. I don't know, but they have not done anything. Kevin Huerter should not have been on the roster day one. And he definitely should not have been starting. He should not have been taking Keon Ellis minutes.
All right, brother, listen. I'm sorry because we're way late and I gave you as much time as I could. And I appreciate the call. I don't want you to think I'm cutting you off. One last question. Would you bet your life that De'Aaron Fox won't win a title with San Antonio?
Absolutely not. They got a great team. They didn't have to give up anything.
All right,
so they should win a title.
Okay, all right. So just Frank. Okay. The psyche of the Sacramento Kings fan. I get it.
I don't get the booing De'Aaron.
I 100% don't get that at all.
One of the great Sacramento Kings of all time.
And was like down for the. And by the way, when we look at the history of like Kings returning, like, come on, man.
This is the one you want to boo?
You're going to boo?
Like, come on.
Like, come on.
I want to say we're better than that.
I think we are better. I mean, there's going to be like 4 people out there booing.
Which you'll hear.
And those guys are wieners. We'll take a break when we come back. We're going to get a word from Gonzalez Law, I hope. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have more bribery?
We have one more, right?
Oh, right. Orlando Magic, Sacramento Kings, the likely debut of Zach LaVine, and we wrap up the show. Can we relax a little bit and do some celebrity birthdays?
I think we have
Dr. Alan Stiles.
Yes.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back with your tickets and more. Don't call now. We'll let you know when to call right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, you never know when you might need representation on your behalf. Yeah, you don't know, so why not, if you do need that, go with someone you know or a name you've heard. That's why I'm telling you about Jonathan Gonzalez. He is here. He's in our community. He is someone you could call and get to. He's not like one of those national TV lawyers that you see on there and that's a number you're like, I'd like to talk to them, but that's just they're the face of that company and you never get to that exact lawyer. That's why you want someone here, someone that's experienced, someone that has had incredible results for thousands of clients in our area. Jonathan Gonzalez, SacLegalDefense.com. The number is 916-304-9187. And whether it's a sexual harassment case, a wrongful termination case, an auto accident, or an expungement, try to get your life back in order. Some things are following you from your past. He has specialized in that and has helped many, many people before. Can help you as well. Again, SacLegalDefense.com. Jonathan Gonzalez, the number is 916-304-9187.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Fall head over boots in love with music this Valentine's Day. Get ready for Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, returning May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, and more. Enjoy food trucks, mechanical bulls, and line dancing. Tickets start at just $52. Visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club. Don't just say, I love you. Show it with music. Buy tickets now.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey! Alice Styles in the room. Alan's always on time after big, massive franchise changing trades.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's that,
Dude, I can't wait for the first 360 between the legs. Sammy Jammy time.
It wouldn't be Zach. It would be, instead of light the beam.
Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine. It's the same syllables.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine. Hey. Hey, Zach LaVine.
What's that?
What is that?
We ready.
Oh, yeah. And between the legs, 360 dunk by Zach LaVine, and the Kings only down by 19.
All right.
What? No, I'm just saying.
Come on. I mean, what are we doing? Goodbye,
You know
farewell to you, my friend.
I was saying earlier, I was in the midst of arriving home, still driving when you were on the air. After the trade hit, you went live from the house. Did a fine job, I might say. So I had you on in the car with my wife. I was going to get my car, and we got to listen to most of what you talked about. And what I really enjoyed. No, this is true. I'm going to give you actually a really good compliment. I enjoyed that you were finding out about the trade in real time. And almost exactly like me, when the trade first hit and you first went on, it was like, actually, looking at this. And then as you had more time to sit on it and more information came in, to watch you kind of spiral from, this trade actually isn't that bad, to, God, is this what the trade was? And how did the Spurs play? It was nice to watch you in real time on the air just kind of spiral to that conclusion.
Yes. And that's why I have dubbed this trade the Instagram trade, because those Instagram couples where they take the pictures and everything looks good, but they argue a lot and they have issues. But on Instagram, it looks great. On paper, 3 firsts. Luka. He only went for 1 first, but then you start looking. I'm just calling them their low value first round picks. Low value.
Well, they got 2 first round picks. The Charlotte is not a first. But as we were talking about, again, if you get nerdy into it, and if you don't already have it, I'll happily provide you with some of the numbers I have. They have 5 trade exceptions now. They're below both the cap and the apron, and I really think that Charlotte pick is not a first. It's going to convey to 2 seconds. But
they stink.
Because the Herter pick is conveying to Atlanta this year, and because of the Stepien rule, I think in the end, when we look back at the end of this trade deadline and whatever other moves the Kings will make, and I do believe they will, I think that Charlotte pick is going to be a big deal.
How far below the cap are they? I forgot to ask you that earlier.
I think it's 7. Let me find it. I want to say it's 7.8. Let me see. Excuse me. They're 10.5 below the tax, 14.4 below the first apron. They have trade exceptions of 16.8, 12.8, 6.4, 5.9, and 4.7.
So they're not below the cap.
Th're not below the cap. Sorry, they're below the tax, but but now those trade exceptions allow them to go above the cap or above the tax without paying any penalties, other than they're going to pay the money the person's owed. So this is set up for, which is why it makes it difficult to grade. Jason and I've been talking about all day. This is set up for them to make another move.
Yes.
This is a precursor on paper to them setting themselves up to make another move.
But to be fair, this is what we've heard before. Move before the move.
Look,
and
if they don't make any more moves, I'm going to trash them.
Well, and we have, and I'll give a little look into the show today as we grade the trades. And I'm sure, Dave, you never got a grade like this, but I have in the past, where you get the paper back and it says INC for incomplete, and that's the grade right now.
Yep.
I can't grade them until after the Thursday deadline goes through. It's incomplete right now.
Hey, do you remember what grade I gave the trade at the beginning of the show?
Incomplete.
Yeah.
You're saying you never got that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Can I say who's on the show today? Because it's fully loaded, and we're very
go ahead. We had Chuck
it.
Swirsky beat that.
So we have Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson is joining us at the Sacramento Bee, who is on location, been traveling with the team.
That's
Jason
good.
Put out that piece that kind of gave us a look into the team right after the Thunder game. So Jason is at 11. We have Brendan Nunez at 12.
Ooh,
we
Kings
have
Insider.
Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs, and CBS 5 San Antonio. That's at 12:30 as well. So a lot to break down today. As the Spurs, they won this, right? Yes, and as disrespectful as this may sound to De'Aaron, it's almost more so about what the Spurs didn't give up versus what they got.
Well,
right?
they gave up Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. Jeremy Sohan.
Trey Jones.
They gave up something.
No, Trey Jones.
Zach Collins.
Yeah,
former Sacramento King draft pick.
Fact.
And Trey Jones. I just don't understand. And, Brandon's going to help us with, like you said, some of the TPE and how they could get John Collins or Cam Johnson and all of that. But I just don't really understand, if you're the Kings, how, and look, maybe City Sissoko is a guy, but I don't really understand how you don't say, just give us Keldon. We got to get Keldon Johnson.
Hey, no, and we got to do celebrity birthdays here. But listen, the thing that he knows this, the thing that pissed me off more than anything. How did we not get our pick swap back in 2031?
I heard you when I was driving in.
How?
I don't know.
How?
Yeah. I get the leverage thing, but it just
Whatever.
feels, I don't know. Yeah, celebrity birthdays.
Brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Hey, nothing makes you get over trading a franchise player better than the sweet taste of Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies, failure.
Do we have one last ticket to give away too?
I believe we do it. 1-800-920-1140. Alan, we're going to give it away to caller number 4. Caller number 4 at 1-800-920-1140. You get tickets to go see the Kings, the Magic, and what will probably, almost certainly, be Zach LaVine's debut as a King.
And Alan will have one an hour too.
That's right.
One pair.
Monday Mayhem.
All right. Well, we already said this on the show, so I'm just going to reveal this one. Happy birthday to Vlade Divac. Alan, just a guess for you.
Vlade, don't want to be disrespectful. What is he, 62?
No.
Sorry.
57.
57.
Nailed it.
That wasn't that bad.
We had some over the weekend. I want to bring this up because she was an award winner last night at the Grammys. Happy birthday yesterday to Shakira. Hips don't lie.
Oh, man.
She's 49?
Yeah, she's right there.
Hips don't lie.
She 50.
Is Anthony playing or is he answering phones?
Oh, he's answering the phones.
Okay, well, it was 48.
Hey.
How about Dog the Bounty Hunter yesterday?
Oh, God. He's probably, I think he's like 72. I think he's older than he looks.
I could see Dave with hair like that.
I could too.
I really could. You said 70 what?
2?
No.
Probably like 30.
68.
We have a correct answer. Carmichael Dave knows his Dog the Bounty
I
Hunter.
know my Dog the Bounty Hunter.
hair.
We have the same hair.
On Saturday, we had Ronda Rousey.
Now, here's a roundhouse kick.
Ronda Rousey is 35?
No. Actually, probably. 36. Dave's hot today.
Alan's closer, 38.
How
How about Harry Styles?
He spells it wrong. He spells it wrong.
Watermelon sugar. Harry Styles is 32.
No.
That's probably right. 31?
Does he spell Harry or Styles wrong?
H-A-I-R-Y, right?
We have a correct answer, and it's Styles stick together.
There you go.
Happy birthday today to Buffalo Bills wide receiver Khalil Shakir.
He's going to be good.
His hips don't lie either.
Yes.
Khalil Shakir is 24.
Remember the wide receiver rule. They're either under 25 or 32.
Okay.
20.
What did you say?
23. 24. I say 24.
Yeah, then I say 24 too.
Okay, he's 25.
Oh! Wow, your rule is stupid.
Happy birthday to Scoot Henderson.
Now, here's a Rex Specs.
I think he's 21 today.
No, 22.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave, 21.
Yeah, how about that?
There you go.
Alan's got all kinds of stuff going on today, including somebody from the Spurs that's just going to come on and be like,
yeah, I know.
We pantsed you, sucker.
Swirly.
Yeah. Speaking of, we had Chuck Swirsky on. You can re-listen to him and everything else today, tomorrow, and the next day on YouTube and all the places where you get your podcasts. Stay tuned because Alan is going to have a pair of tickets to go see the Magic and probably Zach LaVine in their first game back from the road trip every single hour for you, plus a jam-packed program. So for Chuck, for Jason, Anthony, great job today filling in for Chris and so much more. We'll see you tomorrow, Kings fans. It'll all be okay. We're all on the same rock hurtling through space together, and we're all going to die someday, but we're rowing in the same direction. Light the beam. See you later, dear. Bye now.
Breaking Sacramento Kings news.